Morning, everybody.
Morning, Judge.
And Judge.
Amy, you ready?
Sir.
All right. I will call Donley County case hearing, an extended care review hearing. I say child, she's 18 now. Mr. Graff is with us for the department. Miss Kincaid is with us representing the child. Miss Grant is with us representing the mother. Miss Salas, she is not with us. Miss Grant, were you expecting her?
Your Honor, I'm not. My client has executed a voluntary relinquishment of mother's parental rights, which is on file in this case, which I'm not sure if Mr. Graff will be proving up today, but that's her status.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Miss Mullinax is not with us. She represents an alleged father, Juan Delgado. Also, she represents any unknown father. She is not with us. I have Ethan Woods and Mickey Lane in the waiting room.
Ethan Woods is the assigned permanency specialist, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll get them in. Everyone we need's here. This case was set for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:07. We will proceed in Miss Salas, Mr. Delgado's, and Miss Mullinax's absence. So, Mr. Graff, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would the court prefer just to have an update from Mr. Woods?
Yeah, you can. I've read the report, so I kind of know where we're at. So,
okay. Yeah, Mr. Woods, if you would, good morning. If you would just give the court a brief thumbnail sketch as to how the child is doing and any remaining services or issues that need to be resolved.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. So there's been a few issues since the court report was filed, a few changes just this week. I've kind of been in contact with Miss Kincaid. This week, just with the changes, Natalie did end up in the hospital over the weekend with the medication issue. She was discharged Monday evening. Did not return to placement. She opted to go to a boyfriend's house instead. Placement has subsequently discharged her from that placement yesterday. So I submitted a new request for a supervised independent living placement yesterday afternoon, with the hopes of keeping her down there in the Houston area where she's got access to a few more resources than we've got up here in the Panhandle. She's not currently working, not currently attending classes, so she does not meet extended care requirements. However, she does need additional supervision, extra supervision from adults. So we're going to work with her to get her either re-enrolled in school or to help her find employment so she does meet those extended care requirements.
Okay. Anyone else have questions for Mr. Woods?
Just briefly, and she checked herself in over the medication issue, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And the issue was she was feeling, I guess, odd with the change in her medications. They were making her feel funny. Can you explain that to the court a little bit?
Yeah, so she said she was just feeling off, is how she described it to me. I talked to her from the hospital, and all she could describe it was as off. Like she didn't feel like she was herself on the medication. She said she did talk to the physician there at the hospital, and what she was describing to him are known side effects of that medication that she was prescribed. So that was the main reason for the hold at the hospital, was to get her off of that medication and see if some of those side effects resolved themselves pretty quickly, and they did. I haven't talked to her yesterday to see if they prescribed her a different medication or put her back on previous medications, but they did take her off of the old one, or the most recently prescribed medication.
Okay, but just to let the court know, this wasn't like a mental health crisis or a serious issue like that.
No, correct.
And you do have a contact information for her new phone number or her current phone number, and you've provided that to me. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Woods, you may not know the answers. So, do we consider her today still in extended care, or has she said that she's exiting and that's it?
Yeah, we're still considering her in extended care. Her placement has not been ended in impact in our reporting system. Placement attempted to submit a 24-hour discharge. However, criteria did not meet that 24-hour discharge, so our placement team has responded back to them to let them know it can either be a 14 with proper documentation or a 30-day standard discharge. So she is still in extended care, and she has requested to stay in extended care in another supervised independent living facility.
Okay, it's just, we're just gonna have to do something different since she won't, the way we are right now, she won't qualify for the SIL program, will she?
Correct. Yeah, we're going to work with her though. She told me yesterday she'd like to find an online school.
Okay.
She's got a pretty severe anxiety. It's a diagnosis in her psychological from last year. She's got a severe anxiety disorder. The school she was in was quite large, being in the Houston area, and it was severely overwhelming to her. So we're going to work with her, try to get her, if we can't get her online school, into something kind of similar to what we've got up here, where she can do her credits and kind of get in, get out, do it at her own pace. If that doesn't work, we'll work with the Hay Center, Houston Area Youth Center, to work to get her employment down there. So we're going to work with her to try to make her as successful as possible.
Could she if she got back in school or got a job, could she possibly apply for another SIL house?
And that's something we've seen with a few of the SILs down there, is they're willing to work with the young adults, even if they're coming in with not enrolled in school or not currently working. They're willing to work with them to help them get set up where they do meet those requirements. So
okay. So I guess, Mr. Graff, today, I guess I don't need to order a trial independence period or extended jurisdiction for 12 months because technically she's still in care, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor, pursuant to the PMC and I guess when is her birthday?
Okay. She
just turned 18.
Yeah, in November.
November 2nd, yeah.
Well, okay, I guess then I'll just, as far as an order, I guess I'm just going to continue the Department as temporary managing conservator, and I guess I'll approve whatever placement. Is she with her boyfriend as of today?
Yes, Your Honor, she is.
Okay. I don't really know how we want to do the order. Do we want to, it's obviously an unapproved, isn't that what y'all call it, an unapproved placement, or?
Yeah, the placement currently still shows the Mather and SIL down there in Houston,
Okay, all right.
Where she was at. So
okay.
We've got the placement request in. They're working on it today. They've gotten all the documents they need to search for any placement for her.
All right. So it sounds like we could do an order that said that departments continued to temporary manage the conservator placements continued. So, and then do we want to come back? We want to come back in 120 days, or we don't have to come back for 6 months if we're in extended care, but we're technically not. So let me try to find something that would be.
I think the 2-month window, just given the unstable nature of things, probably is a good idea, Your Honor.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Judge, I was notified of it on Monday. As of Friday, I didn't realize that we had an agreed order on Friday. So,
okay. Well, Brittany, if you would find us let's just do a permanency hearing sometime in mid-late March.
Okay, let me see what we have.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay.
And I do want to thank Mr. Woods for keeping us apprised of what was occurring, because this obviously was last minute. So
yeah,
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, we all do, Mr. Woods. Thank you.
She's kept me on my toes.
I bet she has.
What about March 19th? It's a Wednesday.
That would be fine. Okay, then I will continue department temporary managing conservator, continue her current placement, knowing where we're at technically. And then I will set the next permanency review for March 19th, 2025. That will be by Zoom, excuse me, like today's hearing. So parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of March 19th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. I think this was all we had. Ms. Wiggins was with us representing the children. Ms. Naranjo is with us representing the mother, Ms. Olguin. Ms. Naranjo, I don't see, she's with you. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Olguin is with Ms. Naranjo. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the father, Albert Pintoja. I don't see him in my waiting room. Ms. Mullinax, were you expecting him?
We did send him the information, but he told us last that he was in the hospital, so I don't know if he was going to be appearing or not. But we do have an agreement on the case, Judge.
Oh, okay. All right. Then we'll go forward. I'll watch the waiting room just in case he were to come in. Only person in my waiting room is Mickey Lane.
That's my caseworker, please, Your Honor.
Okay. Excuse me.
And Your Honor,
yes.
I've asked Ms. Mullinax to make the announcement on the agreement. I've gotten sick. So
a lot of that going around. I'm sorry for you, Ms. Gutierrez.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right. So, Ms. Mullinax, do you want to announce what the agreement is?
Yes, Your Honor, I can do that. I'm going to go off of Ms. Gutierrez's notes, and so if there's something that's incorrect, I'm sure somebody will let us know.
Okay.
Your Honor, the party or Ms. Holguin will be named sole managing conservator of the children, with Mr. Pantoja being named possessory conservator of the children. The children are currently covered under Medicaid, and I believe that will continue. Mr. Pantoja will provide cash medical support in the amount of $25 per month per child. So that would be a total amount of $50 per month. Child support for Mr. Pantoja will be based on minimum wage. That would be $277.47 for 2 children. He has no other children. And the step down amount after the first child ages out is $226.97. That child support and cash medical support will begin on May 1st. Mr. Pantoja, as I said, he's in the hospital. He had an accident and has some injuries. So we gave him a little bit of time before that starts.
Okay.
Any uninsured medical will be split 50-50. And then there will be visitation pursuant to a stepped up visitation plan. That stepped up visitation plan will start with step 1, where Mr. Pantoja will have supervised visitation at Family Support Services for 2 hours twice per week for at least 4 months. That will be set up by Mr. Pantoja, and it will be at a time and date agreeable to the parties. My understanding is that Family Support Services reaches out to both parents, maybe to set that up or lets mom know, but he will also let her know. Mr. Pantoja will be responsible for the cost of any fees associated with his visitation at Family Support Services in that step. During step 1, Ms. Holguin will have the right to ask Mr. Pantoja to UA and hair follicle drug screen at his expense up to 4 times, as long as he is provided with 24 hours notice of the drug screen request. If he is positive on any of those screens or fails to screen, then he restarts that step 1 period for 4 months before he can go to the next step. If his UA and hair follicle drug screens are negative during step 1, and he has provided a certificate of completion to the BIP program, then he moves to step 2, and that would be provided to Ms. Holguin. Step 2 would be unsupervised visitation on first and third Saturdays of each month from 12 to 6 for 4 months. Exchange of the children will be at the Amarillo Police Department. During that step 2, Ms. Holguin will have the right to ask for UA and hair follicle drug testing at Mr. Pantoja's expense up to 3 times, so long as he's given that 24 hours notice of the drug screen request. If he's positive on any of those drug screens or fails to screen, he would restart the plan on step 1. After 4 months on step 2, if all those drug screens are negative, then he would go to step 3, which is unsupervised visitation, overnight visitation. That is first and third weekends of each month, starting at 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Saturday for 4 months. The exchange will also be at the Amarillo Police Department. Ms. Holguin will also be able to ask for UA and hair follicle drug screens at his expense up to 2 times, as long as she provides the 24 hours notice. If he's positive on any of those screens, he would go back to step 1. And then if he's negative after 4 months on step 3, then he would go to a standard possession order without elections.
All right.
That's all of the agreement that I have, Your Honor. And my client is agreeable to that.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Naranjo, you've heard that agreement. Is your client agreeable?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Wiggins, are you in agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, then. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. The department is in agreement as well.
Okay. All right, then. I will approve that agreement. I will name Ms. Holguin sole permanent managing conservator. I'll name Mr. Pantoja permanent possessory conservator. I will set his child support as announced based on minimum wage, beginning at $277.47 a month, starting May 1st, 2025, and being due and payable on the same day of each month thereafter until further court order. I'll set Mr. Pantoja's medical support at $25 per month for each child, which would be $50 a month at this time, starting May 1, 2025, with a like payment being due and payable on the same day of each month thereafter until further court order. I will order that any uninsured medical expenses be split equally between the parents. As far as visitation, I will approve the visitation that was announced. I couldn't keep up with it, but I'm assuming it will be set out in the final order that all the parties will sign off in as they are in agreement. So I will approve that agreement in all of the phases. So, all right, then.
There's one other thing I missed. All the attorneys will be dismissed out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So since we have a final disposition in this case, there'll be no further hearing set. Ms. Holguin, I'm sure you're going to be happy not to have to see me anymore. So, and then all parties will be dismissed after all appellate and de novo periods have expired. The lawyers can talk to their clients about those rights, but since it's an agreement, I wouldn't expect to see one. So, all right, I appreciate y'all working that out. This was our last hearing for the day. We had some other Dallam County cases this afternoon that had to be moved. So that is our last hearing for the day. So we'll stand in recess. Everybody have a good rest of your week. And again, thank you for working this out.
Thank you.
Hope you feel better, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Amy.
Thanks.
Judge, this is Shane.
Uh-huh.
Before we get started, I think there might have been a mix-up on appointments. It's showing me as the attorney for the mother on this case.
Okay, I'll correct it here.
And I think Miss Evans had another attorney that I think Brittany had appointed. It's still showing me as her attorney. I haven't ever appeared for her.
Yeah, I have you as representing the children. Well, I don't. I have the same thing you do, but we'll correct that. Miss Archer, I show Savannah Kincaid for mother. Who did you think you represented?
I represent the children.
Okay, well, Mr. Turner, you think you represent the children, correct?
No, Your Honor, not in this case.
Oh, okay. What
But-
are you?
I noticed I was on the docket this morning
Okay.
and Miss Evans called because I was showing on the docket. And so I appeared. I don't have a docket that I represent until I think the 9:45 time.
Okay, and we don't have, this is our only hearing today. Everything else settled.
Okay.
So, okay, well, I appreciate you being here to clear that up. So you're just not in this case, period.
No.
Okay, well, thank you for showing up, Mr. Turner. And like I said, we had 4 cases today. 3 of them have settled. This is the only one I showed that's going. So,
Okay. If I will be here if you need to call me back, have somebody call me and I'll log back in.
Okay.
But I will go ahead and dismiss myself, Your Honor.
all right, thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
Let me correct that before we go any further. Mr. Alvey's with us for the department. Ms. Ledbetter's with us for CASA. Ms. Archer's with us representing the children. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the mother, Ms. Evans, who is also with us. I show the father in this case is deceased, so that is everyone. I have no one in the waiting room. Ms. Evans, you're waving your hand. You're muted.
Savannah Kincaid is no longer
I
representing.
can't hear you.
Judge, if I may, you signed an order for me to withdraw from this case.
Okay, I don't have that on my paperwork either.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I actually came for the 9 o'clock because I just wanted to make sure that we got an agreed order on it, and I didn't want to not show up if we didn't have an agreement.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you. Brittany, have we appointed anybody for Ms. Evans?
I'm looking right now. Okay, that is where the confusion was. So it looks like the order I did has Shane Turner's name on it, but that's why it looks like he was there, because it says that he was substituted in for Savannah Kincaid.
No, Shane doesn't represent parents.
Right. Yeah, that's what I realized. So we'll have to put someone else in there.
All right, let me see where we are time-wise on this. I don't want to go forward with her not having an attorney, especially having read the report for today's hearing. Okay, looks to me like we have to have this initial permanency hearing no later than February 23rd. So I apologize for all the confusion today. Brittany, we need somebody for mom.
Okay, so for the hearing, we can do it on the 21st if that works. The 19th is pretty busy.
Is that a day we've got other Dallam County cases?
Yes,
Okay, what you said, what day?
February 21st, it's a Friday.
Okay,
And then for the next on here would be Bill Taylor.
Okay, why don't you, let me go off YouTube and you can just give her, you can give Miss Evans his phone number. Ms. Wildman is with us for the department. Ms. Oscarson is with us representing the non-relative custodians, the Pendletons, who are both with us. Mr. Nowak is with us representing the father, Mr. Moody. He is not with us. Mr. Nowak, were you expecting him?
Judge, I've used every phone number I have on him, and I have the email for the mother, and it looks like they live together, so I sent this Zoom link to them. I know I probably violated some rule by contacting someone else's client. I'm just trying to get hold of my guy. That's my long way of saying I don't expect him.
Okay, all right. He hasn't been joining this before, so that's not new. Mr. Pirtle represents the mother, Miss Wyrick. Neither Miss Wyrick nor Mr. Pirtle are with us. And let's see, then we have Miss Naranjo representing the children. She's not with us.
And Judge, Ms. Naranjo, I believe, filed a report into the case late last week because she had a conflict.
Okay, I haven't seen it. Brittany, did you get it?
She didn't send it to me, but let me pull it and I can email it over once I get it.
Okay, all right. I'll look at that and then I'll just read into the record later what, if I assume it's a recommendation from her, so.
Mhm.
Okay, I have Christina Hunter, no, she's on another case, and then Yasina Arana in the waiting room.
Christina Hunter is for this case, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hunter's joined us. Mr. Pirtle's joined us. Mr. Pirtle, your client's not here. Were you expecting her?
I know she had knowledge about the hearing today, Judge. I expected her.
Okay, all right. I'll watch the waiting room for her. She's not in there yet. So this case was set for 9 o'clock. It's 9:08. We will proceed in the parent's absence as well as Ms. Naranjo's absence. So, okay, Ms. Wildman, you may proceed.
Judge, the department will call Christina Hunter.
All right.
And are you familiar with the parents and their, I guess, their progress on their service plans?
Yes, I am.
All right, so let's start by talking a little bit about Jesse. What sort of updates do we have on the therapies he has been receiving?
So Jesse is still receiving feeding therapies. Those are still very consistent. He is still needing them. His food aversion is still pretty up there. But Kelly is doing a wonderful job in trying to help him to try new foods and getting him a little bit more used to having different types of foods and textures around him. He's playing with mashed potatoes. He's doing a lot of sensory work to be able to lessen the intensity of the food aversion. She is also still working closely with a GI specialist to see if there's anything physically that is contributing to it as well.
All right. Otherwise, is Jesse doing well and meeting kind of the general milestones he should be at his age?
Yes, outside of the feeding, yes, he is.
And when you say Kelly, is that Kelly Pendleton, the intervener?
Yes, she's also the foster mom.
All right. And let's see. Are there any other updates we need about Jesse at this time?
He's healthy, happy, growing like a weed.
All right. And so let's kind of talk a little bit about Karina Wyrick's services and her progress. So back in, I believe it was January, there was a court order that added some additional services on top of the service plan she had already been working, correct?
Yes.
All right. And so let's see. Let's kind of go through and talk about those recommendations. So as far as continuing counseling and parenting training with Delois Hinders, what sort of progress has been made to meet that service goal?
So she did get started with services with Delois. Unfortunately, she's not maintained consistency in regards to going to her appointments. She actually recently just got discharged out of therapy with Delois unsuccessfully because of lack of no-show.
All right. And so another service was that she needed to attend all of the ECI and doctor's appointments for Jesse. How has that, what sort of progress has been made on that?
Karina did not attend his 1-year will check. She did not attend the GI follow-up. Those were both in December, towards the end of December. The ECI appointment on the 14th, she did attend it as well as the 16th of January. She did attend that as well. On both of those, unfortunately, she was not able to provide any updates or historical information to the therapist. The only thing she was able to provide that was that he was, he had jaundice whenever he was born. And then on the 17th of January, the contact was temporarily suspended. So she was not able to attend at that point.
Okay. How about on submitting to an OSAR assessment and following those recommendations?
So the original OSAR she did not submit to. However, the second OSAR was scheduled for the beginning of February. I've not got confirmation that she has completed that yet.
Okay, so that's kind of still possibly pending.
Correct.
Now there was a requirement that she have potential caregivers undergo background checks and get doctor's notes. Did she do any of that?
I've not received any doctor notes from her for the potential caregivers that she was looking at. Whenever we mediated, she was speaking about the elderly couple that we were living with. Well, she was living with at the time. However, she had moved out of that location and into her own apartment and was looking at Billy's biological mom and his stepdad as a potential caregiver.
Okay. And then, so on the next requirement that she be listed on the current residence as an occupant on the lease, does she now have her own lease then?
Yes, she does.
And has she provided that?
Yes, she has.
All right. And then there was also the requirement that she acquire a driver's license or provide a kind of a comprehensive transportation plan to make sure she could meet all of Jesse's medical needs. How far or what kind of progress has been made on that?
She's still not acquired a driver's license. When I spoke to her about needing that comprehensive plan, she didn't provide anything to me in writing. However, she did discuss with me that she was wanting to basically lean on Billy's mom in regards for transportation for Jesse to any of his appointments, and any kind of need for that.
Has Billy Moody's mother been involved in this case at all prior to this?
No, she's she's been aware of the case since the very beginning, and it has had consistent communication with Karina. I've reached out to her a couple of times, but outside of that, she's not expressed to me any willingness to want to try to aid with Jesse, as far as like potentially being a placement or anything like that.
Okay. Now, are there any other services that we need to talk about or that need to be completed as far as the original service plan?
The main one that I was really focusing on was so she did complete the Padre parenting. She did get that completed, and I did receive the certificate for that. That was still lacking from her original family plan, but the therapy has still been a big issue.
And as far as drug screening, I guess what happened with the last drug screening that she completed?
So I have not sent her this month. However, the screen that I received, I believe in January, January the 3rd, she actually tested positive for methamphetamines on a UA.
And that was the basis of the ad litem's motion and why we stopped visitation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any contact with Karina since that hearing a couple weeks ago?
I did speak with her actually the day of the hearing before, and she had mentioned to me that she was wanting to relinquish her rights to Jesse because she felt that she was still struggling to take care of herself and didn't want to, she didn't feel that she could be able to care for Jesse since she's struggling to care for herself. I acknowledged, that was a very selfless, thought and action, and I encouraged her to talk to Mr. Pirtle about it as well.
Okay. I mean, at this point, has any kind of relinquishment been signed that you're aware of?
No.
So are we still trying to maintain contact and facilitate those services as she requests?
Yes.
Now, talking about Mr. Moody, have we had any luck getting in touch with him since the last time we attempted to get in touch with him?
Unfortunately, no.
And that's even with you having pretty consistent contact with his mother, correct?
Yes.
She has been unwilling to help facilitate that communication?
She says she doesn't know where Billy is. He doesn't really communicate with her very much either. The last information that I knew, he did get picked up in Randall County for a warrant that he had. That was at the end of December. Well, I want to say it was like December 28th or 29th. He got picked up and released within like a day.
Okay. So you weren't able to make contact with him then?
I was not.
All right. So, do you believe the department's been making reasonable efforts to try and reunify Jesse with his family at this time?
I do.
What sort of continuing danger does the department believe still exists that prohibits him from being returned to Karina or Billy?
Billy has not engaged in any services. He's not attempted to even do his paternity test to determine that he is the biological father. He's shown no interest essentially since the beginning of this case. It was always dependent upon his relationship with Karina instead of being about his son. As far as Karina is concerned, with the recent positive drug screen, that is a huge concern. She denied usage, although the screen did show that she was positive. She's not been willing to seek treatment for her drug usage. She feels that she has conquered that on her own. However, with the positive screen, it shows that she is still struggling. Well, I've also have a huge concern in regards to her stability and her consistency. She's moved, I believe, 9 times since the beginning of this case. And has just recently gotten to a place of her own that she is able to afford and care for on her own.
Do you believe it would be against the health, or it would be contrary to the physical health and safety of Jesse to return to either parent at this time?
I do.
What is the department's recommendation at this time for the case?
At this time, due especially to the lack of the sign of the relinquishment, I move forward with requesting termination for both parents.
And I know neither parent is present today. Are we asking for any kind of drug screens to be ordered today?
If the termination is not, I guess, approved, then yes, I would like to screen both of the parents for a hair and UA.
Okay. And I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pearl. Any questions?
No questions.
All right. Mr. Nowak?
No questions, Judge.
All right. Ms. Oscarson?
Just a couple of questions, Ms. Hunter. Has Ms. Wyrick expressed to you since January that she no longer wishes to relinquish?
No, like I said, the last conversation I had with her a couple of weeks ago, she stated that she wanted to relinquish.
And to your knowledge, since she stated that to you, has she worked any additional services?
No.
Pass the witness.
All right. All right. Ms. Naranjo is not with us. Brittany, did you find that?
Yes, I emailed it to you.
Okay. Let me pull that up real quick. Give me just a second here. Okay. Ms. Naranjo tells me she's in some court in Potter County this morning. She says the current placement for the child is safe and appropriate. The department should continue as temporary managing conservator of the child. The child's doing well in placement. He receives speech therapy and feeding sessions weekly. Jesse is waiting to meet with a physical therapist and nutritionist to address developmental issues. Jesse's also scheduled to meet with a GI specialist on May 1st, 2025 to address the progress with reflux medication and how it interacts with feeding aversion issues. Overall, the child's in good health and has recovered from any allergies and rashes that developed during the last in-person visit with mother, Miss Karina Wyrick. I believe it would be in the best interest to continue placement and the Miss Myrick's contact and visitation with the child continue to be suspended as ordered by the court. Okay, that was her recommendation. All right, then, Mr. Pirtle, did you have any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Nowak.
No, sir.
Ms. Oscarson?
No witnesses.
All right. I think that accounts for everyone. So based on what I've heard today, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'll continue Jesse's current placement. I'll order that Ms. Wyrick, her visitation continue to be suspended until further court order. And I'll order both parents to both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today at Care Express in Amarillo. I'll set the final in this case for March 17th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearings, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before March 17th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Ms. Wildman, I'm not sure how you intend to proceed on termination of Mr. Moody. I still show he's an alleged father, but I also show that he did not take the court-ordered paternity benefits.
I think we have him as an alleged father, and I think that Mr. Novak was actually representing an unknown father as well. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Vince.
I think I've only have Billy as my client, I believe, Sam.
I'll follow up on that, Judge. I
Okay.
thought we covered that at a previous hearing, but if not, I'll see what we can make sure we get that all taken care of this week, so it's
All right,
not.
we'll just, I guess the reason I'm pointing that out is if you want to go under the paternity registry search, let's be
Right.
sure that it's on file, so.
I will make sure all that's taken care of here
Right.
this week so that we can hit that final deadline.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Judge.
That will conclude this hearing. For those of you involved, I'll be back at 10 o'clock to call another Randall Ms. County Gutierrez case. is with That us is for the the final department. hearing Ms. involving- Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Grant is with us representing the father, Mr. Stevenson, and he is also present. I have Cassandra Enriquez and Tamara Martinez in the waiting room.
Tamara's my caseworker on this one. I don't recognize the Enriquez name though.
Okay. All right. And I recognize this as being originally a wrapper case. Ms. Grant, do we need to, you need to discuss anything with the attorneys or with your client?
Judge, I sent my client a chat just to confirm. And if he could read that, I think that we're ready to go. If he could read that chat and reply to me, I think we should be ready.
Okay. And if you need to, I'm happy to put you in a breakout room.
We could do a breakout room briefly, Judge.
Okay. Let me do that. Okay, we ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge, we are in agreement with the recommendations by the caseworker, Ms. Martinez, and are ready to do a final hearing based on an announcement that the items requested in the court report made at the end of January be listed as our agreement.
Okay, I'm not.
I would have the court report.
Is that the court report for today's hearing?
Yes, Your Honor, that the department be named primary managing conservator and so forth.
Okay, yeah, I've read that report. I want to be sure we're talking about the same report.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so Ms. Gutierrez, as far as if everybody's in agreement with that, then I'll let you put on any testimony you need to, because I guess we need to make the interlocutory termination of the mother a final order today. So.
Yes, Your Honor. There are some items that were not included in those recommendations. I could either make that proposal on the record right now, or I could go into a breakout room with Ms. Wiggins and Ms. Grant and let her know. I think what's missing from here, Your Honor, is child support, medical support, as well as what visitation would look like between the parties. I think that Mr. Stevenson has worked really well with the department and having visitation with his son. We could continue that, but put in the absence and agreement maybe so many times a week or something like that.
Okay.
Additionally, for child support and medical support, we're just asking for $25 a month on medical support. And for child support, we ask that it be based on minimum wage, given Mr. Stevenson's other children to adjust that in the guidelines. Ms. Grant, how many other children does Mr. Stevenson support that are biologically his?
Let me ask y'all this. This is on YouTube. Would everybody be more comfortable if I just put the attorneys in a breakout room and you can work it out and then just let me know?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I didn't, some people don't want anything about them being broadcast over YouTube. So, okay. I will open another breakout room, put Mr. Stevenson, Ms. Grant, Ms. Wiggins, and Ms. Gutierrez in the breakout room. I'll just put everybody in other than the witnesses, and then we'll wait for y'all to come back and tell us how you're progressed. So let me get that set up. Okay, where do we stand?
We have an agreement, Your Honor.
All right. Who wants to announce it?
I can announce it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The parties have reached an agreement where the department will be named permanent managing conservator of the child. Mr. Stevenson will remain on the case and connected to the child as a permanent possessory conservator. The father will pay child support of $75 per month. And that would be beginning 3/10. I'm sorry, 3/1 of 2025. I got my dates mixed up all of a sudden.
Okay.
March 1st, 2025. And medical support would be $25 per month beginning 3/1/2025. The child would continue on Medicaid since he is in the conservatorship of the department. And visitation will be agreed to as agreed to by the parties.
Okay. And then in addition, then you're asking that I make the interlocutory termination of the mother permanent a final order today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Grant, you've heard that announcement. Is that your client's agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins, are you in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me just a second to make some notes. Okay, then I will approve that agreement. I will name the department permanent managing conservator. I'll name Troy Stevenson permanent possessory conservator. I will order that the interlocutory termination of the mother, Natasha Quintanilla, and Amy, that last name is Quintanilla. I'll make that interlocutory termination a final order of the court today. I will set Mr. Stevenson's child support at $75 per month and medical reimbursement at $25 per month. Both of those payments will begin on March 1st, 2025, and be due and payable on the same day of each month thereafter until further court order. I will order that visitation between Christian and Mr. Stevenson will be as agreed to by the parties. And I'm going to go ahead. I'll set our first review hearing for May 5th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before May 5th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I may inquire, is Ms. Grant going to continue as Mr. Stevenson's attorney so I can put that in the order?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, since he's still a party and he's still entitled to an attorney. So yeah, let's continue, Ms. Grant. Obviously, Ms. Wiggins will continue also. So, okay. I appreciate y'all working that out. We will stand in recess on this case. For those of you involved, I'll be back at 11 o'clock to call another Randall County case. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother, Ms. Fortenberry, who is with us. I have Cassandra Enriquez, Karen Bider, and Katrina Sledge in the waiting room.
Katrina Sledge would be the worker in this case, Judge.
Okay, we'll get her in. All right, then. I think everybody's with us. So, Ms. Wildman, you may proceed.
And Your Honor, the department would call Katrina Sledge.
Yes, okay, ma'am.
And have you been working with them on their TFF or Texas Family First program?
Yes, myself and Karen Bider with St. Francis.
All right. So based on the report to the court, it sounds like we've got some good development. So let's go through and kind of see what kind of progress has been made since our last hearing. All right.
Okay.
So what sort of updates do we have for Mary, the mother, as far as completing her services?
Mary is doing exceptional. She is she's still working and managing the household. They are keeping the house clean. They are working together to keep the house clean. That was a big concern. Mary also is addressing her own mental health through recovery individual counseling and has actually completed her first 6 sessions. And then she asked for a continuance because she really enjoys being able to just let go of some of that grief that she's processing through with the death of her husband. And then she is also receiving mental health services through Texas Panhandle centers. And has just recently started medication to kind of help her process through some things as well. And then she also, so that's all she's doing right now. So we just have the counseling and then the upkeep of the home. And then she's also making sure her son, Anthony, he also has some mental health struggles and diagnoses. So he is also with Texas Panhandle Centers and receiving services.
So as far as Ms. Fortenberry, is there any service that hasn't been completed or that she's not currently working through?
No, she, the only other thing we have suggested in recovery, Melissa suggested was a grief support group. But she's just not ready for that yet to talk to in a group setting about her grief. But she's processing that with Melissa, and Melissa understands that. So if and whenever she's ready to do that, she'll venture out to that. But right now she is identifying some people that are going through or have gone through the same thing she's gone through with death, and she with her job, and so she's been able to find some people that she can kind of talk up through things with. So it's not necessarily something she hasn't done. She's just not comfortable with that, and that's okay.
All right. Now you talked a little bit about Anthony, and that is her son who is at Pinnacle. Is that correct?
Yes.
How's he doing at school?
He's doing better. Anthony Anthony has a lot of behavioral issues as far as becoming aggressive, and not bad aggressive, but aggressive enough to where the liaison officer is having to be called to come over and help or detain or not detain him, but restrain him somewhat. Um, Mom feels like a part of that is his medication, that it would increase, it would help some to increase it because he's on a very low dosage of Adderall. So she has talked to Texas Panhandle Centers, and they have just recently increased his Adderall. So hopefully we can start seeing some changes in school. He does well at home. There was one incident, I was actually in the house and Mom was trying to redirect him and he bucked Mom and kind of got in her face, and we had to kind of, de-escalate that. And Mom handled that very well with him. So he's doing better. We're hoping this Adderall increase is new. That just happened last week.
Okay.
So that takes some time, of course. So.
And if I remember correctly, there was some kind of personal hygiene, not just with the cleanliness of the home, that Anthony was struggling with. How has that been going?
Much better, much better. He's having much better days. There's only been a few days to where he's gone and he's just didn't change his clothes. He say he forgot. So just staying on him. The family's really working together. Sisters, mom, to make sure he's bathing at night. Got him some new pajamas. So making sure he's bathing at night and changing his clothes every morning. Anthony's room is probably one of the. I'm really proud of him. His room is really one of the cleanest rooms in the house every time we go over there. So he's doing really, really well. He's trying hard. And mom's doing a great job trying to get everybody, to work together to keep that clean.
How are the girls doing? Are there any updates on them or any services they may need?
No, they're doing great. Anne Marie is working. She's a part of the soccer team. She just recently got her first car and she is paying for that herself. So kudos to her. And she's very, very responsible. She already has ideals of college and where she wants to go. Very, very on target. She's doing great. Patient, same thing. She's doing great in school. School personnel have no concerns. There's never been any concern. Totally opposite than that with Anthony. Never been any concern in regards to behavior, hygiene, academics, none of that with the girls. So it's just more of the personal struggle with Anthony. So.
All right. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it my understanding that sort of this program works on phases?
Yes.
And what phase is the family in at this point?
They're still in phase 2 of the program right now. I was talking to Karen this morning about it a little bit, and I think I talked to Karen and my supervisor, and I think we may have a meeting to kind of talk about that in particular, because they are making, on my end, they are making tremendous progress from where we were in the beginning of this case. So.
Perfect. So what is the recommendation at this time from the department?
I guess that they would just continue through until the expiration of the order. It would be my recommendation.
And do we need to have another compliance hearing here before that happens?
I don't think so.
All right, I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Monax.
Ms. Sledge, is there anything other than the grief support group that could be considered to help Mary out, or is she doing everything already that is recommended at this point?
She's doing everything. I don't think there's anything she needs. She's really connected with Melissa, with Recovery, Melissa Lawson. She's really connected with her, and I think that's an important part. She does have the paternal, her husband's mom that she still has a significant relationship with, and she has identified some people through her job that. So that's a start for her, because she wasn't even talking to anybody. So just being able to talk and get it out, she's moving at her pace, at what's good for her, and so. No, I think she's doing great.
And so if and when she is ready for that grief group, she can still attend that at any point in time.
Yes, I gave her a list of grief support groups. She preferred one that was non-religious, and so I actually did do some research and found one or two of them that were non-religious for her. So she has that information whenever she's ready.
I pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Wiggins?
I have no question.
All right, Ms. Wildman, anything further?
Nothing from the department.
All right, Ms. Monax, anything further?
No, you're on arrest.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins, any recommendations?
I would recommend that the order to participate continue. I think it's doing really good things for this family. I talked to all 3 kids and they're doing really well. They're enjoying living with mom and feel like things are going well.
Okay.
And they declined wanting grief counseling at this time. We did talk about that.
Okay. Looks to me like, if I've got my dates right, this case will expire, I think, on about April 16th. And Ms. Sledge, we don't need to set another hearing just prior to that. If we will, if we need to. If not, are you saying we'll just let it expire after the 180 days?
I think so. I think they'll be fine. Like I
Okay.
said, she's on the second set of counseling sessions and she's doing great. So,
Okay. Well, if something changes and we need to set a hearing and talk about extending it, we will. But otherwise, I just won't set another hearing for now. I'll just order that Ms. Fortenberry keep doing what she's doing and participating in the services that have been previously ordered. So, Ms. Fortenberry, congratulations on your progress. It sounds like you've done everything that's been asked of you.
I have told the school counselors to keep a watch on them just in case. But so far, none of the kids have wanted any kind of grief, anything.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just made sure that the school counselors know what's happened, just in case something, they do ask.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not all the time they don't want to talk to mom.
I understand that. And if there's anything we need to do, if you don't think the school counselors are able to handle it, we'll set them up with some counselors that specialize in grief counseling. Just let your lawyer know.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you then. That will be the order. Just she continue to work the services as previously ordered and no further hearing set unless requested by any of the parties. So, all right then. That will conclude this hearing for the department. I'll be back at 11:30 representing the child, and the mother, Miss Enriquez, is with us. The father, Anthony Mears, is not with us and not in the waiting room. I have Juan Heredia in the waiting room.
That'd be the caseworker, Judge.
Okay. Get him in.
All right. And where is Brody currently placed?
Brody is currently placed at Pinecrest Emergency Services.
And I think we talked at the last hearing, even though that's an emergency center, that can be his long-term placement. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. They can do that for him.
And that's still the plan?
Yes, ma'am.
How's he doing down there?
He's doing well. He's attending school. He's doing good in his classes and attending regularly. He is also attending therapy sessions and helping with his treatment and his behaviors. He's done well there at his placement. He has regular visits with his parents via virtual visit. He has an hour with his mom, and then he has an hour with his dad.
How are the visits going?
The visits are going well. They exchange information, keep up with each other. Just a lot of the day-to-day. And then just, of course, how he's doing education and how he's doing with his behaviors and feelings and how he feels about placement as a whole.
Now, based kind of on what you've seen and based on what's in your report, do you believe that Brody is getting the kind of treatment he's needing to help manage those behaviors?
Yes, he is.
And he seems receptive to making those changes?
Yes, he does.
Let's talk a little bit here. So the parents, how has your communication with them been?
The communication with his mom, Cassandra, has been very good. She asks questions and keeps up with me. I was able to meet with her and just to get a better feeling and idea of how things were situationally within the home. My contact with Anthony has been primarily over phone. I have not been able to meet with him in person, but he has also been receptive to communication with the department.
Now, since this is a status hearing, have we developed family plans of services for both of the parents?
Yes, ma'am.
And did they participate in the development of those service plans?
Yes, they did. Miss Enriquez, I met with her after the plan was completed and went over it and what the requirements are. She was in agreement with it and she did sign her plan.
Has the father not signed his plan then at this time?
He has not signed his plan. I have not been able to meet with him to go over it. Partially, I believe is just some of it is because of his work schedule. It keeps him out of town a lot, and it's kind of spotty trying to be able to lock down and meet with him.
Generally, when you have talked to him, though, has he been in agreement with working services and working to do what he needs to,
Yes, he
ultimately
has.
bring home?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what are some of the major needs for the parents in this case in particular? What are things that we needed to be addressing?
The major needs for the parents are going to be that they be part of the treatment plan for Brody that's going to help him with his behaviors, and that might include therapies in somewhat of a group setting, in a therapeutic setting, if that were to be called for by his therapist. Maintaining communication with the department as well, and maintaining a appropriate and proper residence.
And so when you went through and developed those service plans, did you try to tailor those to the needs of this case?
Yes, they were tailored specifically for each parent.
And again, a big part of this is going to be preparing them to ultimately have Brody back in the home and manage those behaviors that kind of brought us to this point, right?
Correct.
Now, as far as making these efforts to reunify, do you believe that getting Brody the help he needs is going to help reunify the family?
Yes.
And is it my understanding that both parents have still been consistent in wanting to have Brody come home once he's done that treatment?
Yes.
And do the visits and everything, do those help us move forward towards reunification?
Yes, they do.
Now at this time, do you believe that it would be contrary to Brody's best interest to return to the home?
Yes.
And why? Why is that?
The environment that he's in right now is meeting his needs, in the sense that it's more of a focused environment for him. The parents were overwhelmed, or Miss Enriquez was overwhelmed with Brody's situation. She did do as best as she could to try and meet his needs, but it was something beyond her at that time.
And at this point, until those services are worked and until Brody's ready to address his own behaviors and get home, does that continuing danger still exist for him going home?
Yes.
Are you asking that the family plans of service that were developed for the parents be made an order of the court today?
Yes.
And are you asking that Brody remain in his placement?
Yes.
And I don't know that we covered it, but the RTC that Brody's in, do you believe that's the least restrictive option for him at this time?
Yes, it is.
All right. I will pass the witness.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Heredia, do you believe it would be a continuing danger to the physical health and safety of either Brody or to other members of the family to be returned to the parents today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Ms. Wiggins, any questions?
Have we done a psychological on Brody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you send that to me?
Yes, ma'am.
And also, Brody indicated he was having some headaches. Has he talked to you about those?
As far as he is now wearing glasses, so they're looking at that, possibly that may be one of the issues. The other thing is they're going to be monitoring the times that his medication is being administered at, and they are following up with the doctor that had prescribed it, that maybe if they can offset, not necessarily change the medication at this point because it has helped with his behaviors, but maybe change the times to where it'll be a therapeutic measure to where it'll alleviate, if not completely eliminate, those headaches.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right. Ms. Enriquez, did you have any questions for Mr. Heredia?
I would like a copy of Brody's psych
Sure.
eval.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they
We already
usually,
talked about it though.
they're
Yes,
not,
ma'am.
they're not usually filed with the court, are they? So, yeah, just be sure that Miss Enriquez gets it too. And Miss
Yes,
Enriquez,
Your Honor.
we talked about this, I'm sure, at the adversary, but at any time, if you feel like you need an attorney and can't afford one, you realize you have the right to ask that the court consider whether or not you're entitled to an attorney at no cost to you. Did you
Yes.
understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you've got that right between now and the time this case closes. If that ever comes up, just talk to either Mr. Heredia or talk to anyone with St. Francis, and we'll get you the paperwork for that.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
then, anything else from the department, Ms. Wildman?
No, Your Honor, just the continuing danger and reasonable efforts findings and continuing placement.
Okay, I'll make those findings. Ms. Enriquez, anything further from you?
No, sir.
Okay, Ms. Wiggins, any recommendations?
I recommend that the department remain joint managing conservator with the mother in this case and continue his placement. I'm glad that his headaches are being addressed. I think he did talk about that. He does say his medication is working, so I'm glad they're not changing that. So
Okay, thank you. All right, then I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator. I'll continue Brody's current placement. I will order the services for each parent as contained in their service plans. We'll have our next hearing and initial permanency hearing on June 9th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of June 9th to see exactly what time we'll hold that hearing. All right. Ms. Enriquez, I need to inform you that the services that are contained in your service plan become a court order as of today. At a final hearing, if you haven't worked those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. That's kind of unusual in a case like this. You don't have near the amount of services that are normally required, but I have to inform you of that anyway. Do you understand that?
Could you repeat that? And everything froze on my end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What I'm saying, this is not, I have to admonish you on this. It's not typical in a case like this. You don't have near as many services as typical parents would because of the circumstances. But I do need to tell you that the services that are in your service plan become a court order today. At a final hearing, if you haven't worked those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. Do you understand that?
Just as long as I follow the plan though, right? I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This
What
isn't-
about, I
Go
do
ahead.
have a question. I'm sorry.
Sure.
What about his dad? He's been very unstable since Brody got out of Pegasus. So it's been 3 or 4 years. He's been very unstable. Will that affect my custody?
No, ma'am. I know y'all aren't together, so you're treated individually. Whatever happens, of course, this is a case where it's not so much what the parents have done; it's the case that what help Brody needs. So, typically, I can just tell you that very, very seldom is there ever any thought of termination of the parents' rights, unless the parents just say, I can't handle this child, and I just can't. I've done everything I can. So, no, nothing that he might do, the father is going to have anything to do with your rights.
Okay.
We understand.
That's reassuring.
Yeah, no, we understand that you're here because you did everything you could and just run out of options. So that's exactly what these cases are set up for. So, and I hated to give you that admonishment, but I'm required to. I didn't want you to think that there's anything in there that I think you better do or we're going to terminate you. That's not it at all. I just have to say that. That's part of what my job is. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You be sure if there's anything else you think the department or St. Francis can do to help you with Brody, you be sure to let them know because we can do whatever we need to help you and Brody work these things out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. I'll be back at noon to call another. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Hill is with us representing the mother. Ms. Watson, who is with us. The father, Mr. Montez, is not with us and he's not in the waiting room. So I don't have anyone in the waiting room. Are we missing anybody other than Mr. Montez?
No, Your Honor. Supervisor Erin Sessions is going to be covering this hearing.
Okay.
And she is already in.
All right. Well, then we are ready to proceed.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd like to inform the court that we are not vacating our motion for aggravated circumstances, but we are passing on the hearing at this time and moving forward with the status hearing.
Okay. All right. So we will hear just the status hearing and we'll worry about the motion for aggravated circumstances against Mr. Montez at a later date if necessary.
Thank you. The department calls Erin Sessions as its witness.
All right. Ms. Sessions, if you'd raise
And was a court report filed and approved by you on January 28th of 2025.
Yes.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right. So noted. And I did read that report.
Thank you. Erin, regarding this court report, let's see, are there any updates on Atticus since the filing of the court report?
There are a lot of updates on Atticus since the filing of the court report.
Okay. Is there any need for us to ask the court to go off YouTube or is YouTube fine?
Maybe. maybe.
All right.
Okay, is it due to the privacy of the child?
Yes.
Okay. Anytime there's a maybe, then I go off YouTube. So let me take care of that real. All right. It appears that everyone is with us. So you may proceed, Ms. Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. The department will call Angela Tidwell.
Okay. Ma'am, if you'd unmute. Thank you. If you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Wildman.
Now, just kind of generally, what kind of placement is Zahara in currently?
Yes, ma'am. She's in a fictive kinship placement.
And is that here in just the Amarillo area?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right. Are there any updates on Zahara that we need to hear today?
Yes, I spoke with placement this morning and they stated that Zahara is doing well, that she's happy, happy toddler, she's 2, and that she's talking up a storm. So she's doing good, and visits are going really well between Lillian and Zahara as well. And she's healthy. Sorry.
No, you're fine. What kind of visitation's been going on?
So Lillian and Zahara have been getting 1 hour a week, and placement is supervising those visits.
Okay. And as you said, visits are going good?
Yes.
All right. So does Zahara have any special needs or anything that we need to address today?
No, ma'am.
All right. So so this is a status hearing. So have we developed a family plan of service for the mother, Lillian Ledgerwood?
Yes, ma'am.
And what sort of, I guess, needs need to be addressed in this particular case?
For Lillian, she needs to address parenting classes, domestic violence support group, and individual therapy.
And so, and am I correct in stating that, the department's involvement arose out of a domestic violence situation?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did that involve the father of the child?
No, ma'am.
Is Miss Ledgerwood still with the individual or has she gotten back with the individual that was involved in that incident?
No, ma'am. It's my understanding she has a some kind of like not trespassing warrant, but a no contact for him to come around her.
Okay. So, do you believe that that the plan that you have developed is narrowly tailored specifically for the needs of this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, looking at the services, are there some things that Miss Ledgerwood has already started working on?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are some of those services that she's already making progress on?
She has scheduled her psychosocial for February the 26th. She's left a message for family support services for her domestic violence support group and for parenting classes. She's actually stayed in contact with me as well. So she's making great efforts to start working on these services.
What kind of living situation does Miss Ledgerwood have at this time?
She has moved back into her home here in Amarillo since Mr. Brown has been ordered to stay away from her. It was her home here.
Okay. And so at this point, are you, and as far as you know, Ms. Ledgerwood, confident that can be a safe place, not just for Zahara maybe in the future, but for mom now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Has there been any kind of drug testing or anything in this case?
Yes, ma'am. She submitted a hair follicle last month, and I just pulled those results today.
Okay. Do we have any concerns based on those results?
She tested positive for marijuana. Her levels were low, and I will get that submitted to the court.
Okay. And at this point, does the family plan of service address any possible needs regarded to drug use?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let's talk about the father, LaDontre Williams. Have you had any contact with LaDontre?
So I did set up a courtesy worker, and she has gone to the prison, and he's refusing to see our courtesy worker. She went on the 3rd of February. And I have also mailed him letters, his family plan of service, and a parenting packet with no return.
Have you prepared a service plan for him should he choose to cooperate with the department?
Yes, ma'am.
And previous I think it was the adversary, was a genetic testing order or genetic testing ordered?
Yes, ma'am. We received that signed order on Friday, and I am filling out the 1702 referral form, and I will get that submitted today.
Okay. And so the service plan that you, I guess, developed for LaDontre Williams, is it tailored to meet the needs of this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you believe that the service plans that you have developed with those, do you consider those making efforts to reunify the family?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that the department is otherwise making reasonable efforts to reunify the family?
Yes, ma'am.
And just briefly, in what ways are we, or is the department doing that?
So we have created the family plan of service. I conduct monthly face-to-face visits with Lillian and then an LPS worker with LaDontre. And I've submitted for service authorizations for Lillian so she can start these services. And also I make sure that she has her weekly visits with Sahara.
Okay. And while it sounds like Miss Ledgerwood is making great progress quickly, do you still believe that there's a continued danger to the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And why do you feel that way?
I do believe that it'll benefit Lillian to get active in domestic violence support group and some therapy to kind of get to the root of the removal.
And at this point, do you think it would be contrary to her best interests and to the physical health and safety of Zahara to return to Lillian at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Williams is incarcerated, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is not cooperating with the department?
No, ma'am.
And so do you believe that trying to reunify with Mr. Williams would also be against the child's interest and against her physical health and safety?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking that the family plans of service become a court order today?
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, does the department have any other recommendations?
No, ma'am.
Other than continuing placement?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Tidwell, I'd ordered a home study on Miss Ledgerwood. Is it still pending?
The home study for the child, or actually on Lillian?
I ordered a home study at the adversary hearing for the child and Miss Ledgerwood.
There has been a home study that is being processed for Zahara, and I am uncertain about the home study on Lillian. My apologies.
Well, Zahara doesn't have a home to do a home study on. She's a child. The home study I ordered was for mother. That would obviously that would involve Zahara as the child, but the home study I ordered was to be on Miss Ledgerwood.
My apologies, Judge. I was unaware of that. So I will have to, my supervisor's on, she would probably know the answer to that since
Okay.
she works on the home studies, and that's Michaela. And I apologize for not knowing that answer.
That's fine, but you're not aware that it's come back one way or the other yet.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
Yes.
Ms. Grant, questions?
Ma'am, are you aware of a change in job status of my client?
Yes, ma'am.
So she's currently unemployed, but starts orientation in the next few days for her new job at Burlington, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And has she reported to you she'll be making $12 an hour?
I wasn't aware of the wages, but she did report she's starting a new job.
Okay, and is she aware from you that you'll need to see her pay stubs from that job?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you aware that they're starting her part-time hours for orientation?
I'm aware now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. And she, were you present when the judge asked that she complete again her attorney qualification form?
Yes, ma'am.
And if I represent to you that she's going to do that today at the Randall County Annex, is that something you could assist her with if she has any problems?
Yes, ma'am. I can do that.
Okay, I appreciate it. I'm going to be in Canyon on another case, and if you could help her, that would be greatly appreciated. And Judge Graham, is the annex today before 4:30 adequate to get that form and leave it with your office?
Yeah, if it's filled out, I mean, they can let her in, but we're not going to have another hearing till June, and I'm
Perfect.
fine as long as it gets on file before June.
Thank you, Judge. She's going to get that taken care of ASAP. She does have her own transportation.
Okay. If she wants to come here to get a new form, that's fine. I'll have Brittany leave one at the security desk. If not, like I said, as long as it's back on file before June, and from what
Right.
you told me, if that's accurate then she'll still have you as her attorney, but I have to have it in writing. So,
Perfect.
okay.
Thank you, Judge. She'll get that done. And she indicated to me that it was a mistake on the previous form, that this job is comparable to her last position.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor. No more questions.
All right. Ms. Wiggins.
I have no questions.
Okay. All right. Then Ms. Wildman, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, unless you want us to call Miss Kirksey, just to answer that question regarding the home study.
Well, if it's in, I guess I need to know about it. If not, I don't. I mean, if it's still pending or if there was some confusion on who we were doing it on, I just need to be sure that if it's back, I need to know if it was approved or not approved. Does anybody know that?
It's not back, is what I've been told. It has been sent.
Yeah, doesn't matter then. If it's not back yet, then it's a non-issue today. So, okay. I will continue the department's temporary manager conservator, continue Zahara's current placement. I'll order the services for each parent, or at least for Miss Ledgerwood and the alleged father, Mr. Williams, as contained in their service plans. Our next hearing will be on June 9th, 2025. And again, there's no real rush. As long as that new form is on file by then, we're good to go. So, Miss Ledgerwood, I do need to admonish you. Let me find you here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Ledgerwood, I need to tell you that the services contained in your service plan become a court order today. At a final hearing, if you haven't worked those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then. All right. That will conclude this hearing. We'll see y'all back on June 9th. It will be like by Zoom, like today's hearings, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of June 9th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. So, Ms. Wildman is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us for the child. Ms. Grant is with us representing the mother. Ms. Ledgerwood, she's not with us in the waiting room. Ms. Grant, were you expecting her?
No, Judge, I was not.
Okay. All right. It is a little past 9:30. This case was set for 9:30, so we will go ahead and proceed in the mother's absence. The father, Mr. Williams, an alleged father, LaDontre Williams, is not with us, and he is not in the waiting room. So, Ms. Wildman, you may proceed.
And Your Honor, for the court's information, LaDontre Williams has been ruled out as the father. I think we've removed him from the case, and we're recently alleged a Jacob Lovato, or we're in the process of alleging a Jacob Lovato as a possible father.
Are you going to join him?
Yes, I think we may have sent out the amended petition. I'll have to double check, but if not, we are going to.
And what was his name?
Jacob Lovato. I believe it's Jakob.
Lovato?
Lovato, Lovato. And my caseworker judge is going to be Angela Tidwell.
Okay. All right.
And we lost Stacy.
Oh, we did lose Stacy.
And Judge, did Brittany update you on your 10 o'clock?
Yeah, she told me, I saw your response, and she said that Claire planned to go forward.
Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure you got that.
I don't know that I have granted or denied her motion for leave to intervene.
I do not know that, Judge. I don't know if them relinquishing would. I'm assuming they're going to adopt out of PMC to the department, so I don't think it necessarily would need to be an intervention. But
I don't. We can talk. I'll put all the lawyers in a breakout room. You know, the only thing I saw as far as what she alleged, I guess, is her standing is they've had the child in their home since June 18th. So if they're the foster parents, if they don't have any other standing other than being the foster parent, I can't grant it because they haven't.
I think, and I may be wrong with this. I think they have adopted a sibling, and so I think that is one of the exceptions that you can have with an intervention. But I don't quote me on that.
That's the law. I didn't know they'd adopted a sibling.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay. I don't think it matters anyway. If they're going to adopt, we'll go forward either way. But I just Okay, we'll talk about it when we get there at 10 o'clock.
Okay, thanks. I know we were waiting for Stacy, so I just thought we'd talk.
She looked like she was in her car. She may not can get back on.
Yeah.
She did email and say she's in the old courthouse, but she is going outside to see if she can get service back.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. We'll give her, this should be a short hearing. We've got time to wait on her. I'll be looking for her. Okay. Looks like she just got back in the waiting room. All right. Ms. Grant's back with us. So Ms. Wildman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. The department will call Angela Tidwell.
Okay.
Zahara currently placed.
She's placed in a fictive kinship home with her grandmother. with Lillian's ex-stepmom.
Okay. And you say grandmother, I mean, did she have a previous relationship with her before removal?
Yes, ma'am.
And for all intents and purposes, is that Zahara's grandmother?
Yes.
Now, has she been there since removal?
Yes, ma'am.
Has she been doing in that placement?
She's doing wonderful. She's thriving. She attends daycare. She likes to call it her school. She's healthy. She's current on all of her medical appointments. And she is actually advanced for her little 2-year-old self as far as developmentally.
All right. And so has the placement been able to make sure she's going to all her appointments and everything and doing everything she needs?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is she on any medications or does she have any medical needs right now?
No, ma'am.
All right. And let me, I guess, ask before we get too far along, has there been a goal change in this case?
Yes, ma'am. I believe the goal change was on May the 6th.
And what is the current primary goal in this case now?
It'll be kinship adoption.
And what is the secondary goal?
Kinship conservatorship.
All right. And is it the department's intention that she'll stay where she is with her grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so let's talk then about the parents in this case. Now, as far as the father, is it correct to say that LaDontre Williams has been ruled out as the father?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the most recent, I guess, possible father that has been relayed to the department?
Jacob Lovato.
Have you been able to make any contact with Mr. Lovato?
Not currently, no, ma'am.
Have you and have the department and our office, have we had a hard time finding any kind of contact information for Mr. Lovato?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the department hasn't sent in their amended petition yet. I think we're going to try and do that today. Have you provided have you prepared a family plan of service for Mr. Lovato?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you ask for the petition to be granted once that's sent over, or I guess would you ask that family plan of service be ordered as soon as that petition has been, I guess, filed?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you continuing to try to make attempts to locate Mr. Lovato?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you tried to enlist the assistance of of Miss Ledgerwood in locating him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she give you an idea about the last time she may have had contact information for him?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as far as Miss Ledgerwood, let's talk a little bit sort of about what's been going on and kind of what led to this change in permanency goals. When was the last time you saw Miss Ledgerwood?
The last time I was able to conduct a face-to-face was when she was in Randall County on April 8th.
And what did she tell you she was in? And when you say Randall County, what do you mean?
Randall County Detention Center.
Okay, and what did she tell you she was in the detention center for?
I believe she stated it was for disrupting the peace.
Okay. What was her physical condition when you saw her?
Her lips were all busted up, and she just was solemn.
Okay. What did she tell you, I guess, had happened regarding the injuries to her face?
She had stated that she had got into it with her ex-boyfriend and that he had put his hands on her and he had hit her in the mouth with his fist.
And is that the same ex-boyfriend that she was involved with at the time of removal?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she tell you how they came to be together again?
She stated they weren't together, that he had went up to her job.
Okay. Did she say anything about having filed any kind of police report?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And is that individual is named Latravian Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware, are there any additional charges with her as the victim?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay. Now, as far as services, what sort of services has she begun at this point?
Since we've started her family plan of service, she's completed one domestic violence class.
Okay.
She's been to one session.
And I guess when did she complete that session?
Honestly, didn't write that down, and I want to say she did it in March.
Okay. And so for the last 2 to 3 months, is it fair to say she has not completed any other service?
That is fair to say, yes, ma'am.
What's going on with her living and employment?
She states that she's still currently employed with Cassidy's. She gave me a new address for the month of May, and she is actually residing with one of her coworkers at an apartment complex, but I've not been able to go by there and physically see her. I did go by there, but she was not there. But her roommate confirmed that she lived there. But
okay. But you haven't been able to see that residence?
No, ma'am.
As far as keeping contact with the department, has she maintained any kind of contact with you?
She is really good about sending text messages. And that's about it.
What sort of visitation is going on with Zahara right now?
Well, she has 1 hour a week with Zahara, but the last time she went to a visit was May 17th, and the time before that was April 27th.
Are those being supervised by the department, or are those being supervised by placement?
They're being supervised by placement, and she documents everything for me.
Okay. Now, has she been asked to drug test at all in the last couple of months?
Yes, ma'am.
Has she been drug testing for us?
She's not actually physically took a drug test since March 27th.
Okay. And so what did you ask her to do in April?
So on April 15th, I text her donor passes to go drug screen. And on the 16th, I asked her if she had been able to go drug screen. She said she wasn't able to get a ride. And I actually gave her another chance on the 17th, and she said she couldn't make it. So I tried again on April the 22nd. I actually gave her a few chances to drug screen. And she stated that she was going to the lake and she couldn't make it. And then in May, I sent her to drug screen on the 19th and the 22nd and she did not. She does not want to cut her hair, she responded.
Okay, so how does the department view, I guess, those missed or refused tests? How does the department view those?
Yeah, those is presumed positive.
Okay. And from your understanding, having gotten those text messages, she was able to get a ride to the lake, but not to get drug testing, correct?
Correct.
And let's see. Are there any other updates regarding Miss Ledgerwood that the court needs at this time?
No.
Are we asking that she be court ordered to drug screen with hair follicle and UA today?
Yes.
All right. And are there any other anything else that we're asking as far as the parents be ordered today?
No, ma'am, just the drug screen.
All right. Let's see. What are the continuing dangers, or what continuing dangers does the department believe exist when it comes to reunifying Zahara with Lillian Ledgerwood?
Well, she hasn't provided me with any employment verification, proof of residency, sobriety, and she is not working on any of the services that we've asked her to work on. So it would not be in Zahara's best interest to be placed back into a residence that I cannot confirm exists.
As far as Mr. Lovato, what sort of concerns do we have about a continuing change you're trying to place with him?
There's not even been a relationship established between him and Zahara, and I've not been able to confirm any residence, employment, any kind of drug screen. So that would not be in Zahara's best interest to be placed with somebody that she's never met.
Do you believe the department's made reasonable or is still making reasonable efforts to reunify with Lillian Ledgerwood?
Yes, ma'am.
Even with the goal change, is the department still attempting to engage her with services?
Yes, ma'am.
Will the department continue to attempt to engage her?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as Mr. Lovato, do you believe that developing that family plan of service and having that ready for when we hopefully can locate him is a reasonable effort to reunify?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe it's also a reasonable effort attempting to locate him?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you going to continue to try to make efforts to locate him?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I will pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Grant, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wiggins?
No questions.
All right, anything further from the department, Ms. Wildman?
No, Your Honor, but the amended petition should be filed now, so we would ask that the family plan of service for Mr. Lovato be ordered today, and then we would ask for the drug screening and the placement to continue. I apologize.
Okay.
And Judge, if I could ask Ms. Tidwell just one more, I guess, question.
Okay.
Ms. Tidwell, do we have any kind of recommendation on visitation at this time and the mother continuing?
She's not showing up to visits faithfully, so maybe we should get a clean drug screen before we can move forward with those visits.
Oh, that would be the only other, I think, request from the department, Judge.
Okay. All right, then. Ms. Grant, did you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I would just represent that I'll continue to try to reach out to Ms. Ledgerwood and see if I can get her to engage in her services.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
I do recommend that visitation be suspended until she provides a negative hair and UA drug screen for the department. Additionally, I would ask that the next hearing be a final hearing. Since there has been no progress, and I do see a paternity registry search on file, so I don't think that will be an issue since we still have an alleged father.
Okay. Thank you. Give me just a second.
And if we are going to do the next one as a final, Judge, I do think we would need to appoint attorneys both for Mr. Lovato and the unknown father at this point, just to cover our bases.
Yeah. Do we know where he is? I mean, you're not gonna have any problem with service on him?
We don't. We have our most updated contact information, Judge. I think we're attempting service still, but he has not been served.
Okay.
The address that's in that petition, I believe, is a different address than we maybe have tried previously. So
okay.
Hopefully that will help.
Okay.
Help us out. If not, we're gonna have to keep searching, but we are making diligent efforts.
Okay. All right, then. I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue Zahara's current placement. I'll order Ms. Ledgerwood to both Hairstrand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today at Care Express in Amarillo. I will order the services for Jacob Lovato as contained in his service plan. And I will order that Ms. Ledgerwood's visitation be suspended until she provides both the negative Hairstrand and UA drug screen to St. Francis or the department. So, all right. I'll set a final in this case for September 29th. 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before September 29th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Okay, we'll be in recess on this case. I'll be back very shortly. Adversary that began on February 3rd. We recessed so Mr. Saint could try to have his client in attendance, and I believe he probably is today. I have someone from the video arraignment, and that looks like that's going to be their guy. So For today's purposes, Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Barfield is with us representing the mother, Ms. Arona, and she is with us. Mr. Saint is with us representing the father, Mr. Oliveris, and it appears that he is appearing by video he's waving his hand at us, so that's him. Okay, same with
All right.
Officer Hamilton.
Yes, Judge. And then Sylvia Garcia will be testifying. She would be the caseworker, so I don't have a problem with her waiting to be called as well, Judge.
Well, is she your designated person?
I'm gonna be honest, procedurally, I'm not sure since we're still at an adversary. She will be the Francis worker.
I have the answer for you on that one. Sylvia's in training. She needs to be let in, but Tasia McIntyre is the primary worker on the case.
All right, we have any
Apologies
objections?
for interrupting.
Do we have any objections for Sylvia Garcia with St. Francis coming in?
Oh, no, Your Honor. No objection.
And then if Tasia McIntyre can come in with her, Judge.
Well, you can only have one. Who's your designated worker for St. Francis? Let's just answer it that way.
If Ms. Kirksey's correct, then it would be Tasia McIntyre.
Okay, so we'll get her in. Now, Mr. Oliveris, you were trying to say something, I think.
Judge, bring whoever you need in, whoever you need for your proceeding.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to work with whoever you're bringing in, Judge. So it's
okay,
up to
well, sir, you've got a lawyer, so your lawyer can he can speak for you, and if you're called to testify, then I'll listen to what you have to say then.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're back to Mr. Flores. We're continuing his testimony from the previous adversary. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge. Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have my camera on.
Okay, let's get him in. Ms. Wildman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so, Mr. Flores, at the last hearing, I believe we ended where you had told us that the department got involved due to an intake involving domestic violence and some sort of behavioral or mental health incident that occurred while Eden was present. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And so after the department became aware of what was going on, were they able to locate Eden?
Yes, we were.
And where was Eden at that time?
Eden was with paternal grandparents.
Okay. And the paternal grandparents, were they, I guess at that point, able to take care of Eden?
Yes, they were.
And in fact, is that where he's placed today?
That is correct.
All right. So after the intake came in, did you attempt to make contact with Mr. Oliveris?
Yes, I did.
And were you initially able to make contact with him?
My initial attempt was at the behavioral health hospital, and he was not present. No.
Okay. Where did he go after leaving the hospital?
I was advised that before he was able to complete any treatment, that he was transferred to the Potter County Detention Center.
And were you able to make contact with him there?
I was not able to make contact with him that day or the following due to his he was being confined and he wasn't allowed any visitors due to his behavior.
Okay. Now, before or while all this was going on, did you attempt to locate Eden's mother?
Yes, we did.
At that time, did you know where she was?
No, we did not know where she was. There was a belief she might be in Oklahoma.
Okay. Now, what efforts did you make to make contact with the mother?
We made phone calls. We looked through CPS history for additional phone numbers, and then we also received phone numbers from one of the contacts, which I believe might be her youngest son's father.
Okay. And just to clarify, the mother's name, that's Yesenia Arona, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And so, Miss Arona, did you leave voicemails?
Yes. The numbers that we had were actually working numbers, and I was able to either leave a voicemail or a text message.
But did she get back in touch with you?
She did eventually get in contact with me, yes.
When did she finally get back with you?
I believe I spoke with her the day after the removal, which would have been, I believe, the 10th.
Okay. So if the removal was, I guess, was that on the 8th or the 9th?
The removal was on the 9th of January.
Okay. Now, had DFPS recently been involved with the family prior to this incident?
Yes.
What were the circumstances behind that?
We had received a report. I'm going to say it was October of 2024 that we had just closed in December of 2024. And the allegation was that Miss Orona had been using methamphetamine and was alleged to be prostituting and living in hotels.
All right, and so what was sort of the purpose of the order to aid that the department sought?
When we were finally able to make contact with Miss Orona, she advised us that Eden, her child Eden, was with his father, Mr. Victor Olivares. When we tried to make contact with Victor, he was not allowing us any contact with Eden, and so we ended up needing an order to aid so that we can interview Eden and see the home.
Now, when you made contact with the family that time around, I mean, at what point did Eden go live with his father?
Eden went to live with his father during the case that was opened with Miss Orona. According to Mr. Olivares, Eden had been living with him since Miss Orona found out that our case had been opened.
Okay, so after she was aware the DFPS was investigating, it's your understanding she then had Eden go live with his father?
Correct.
Now, did after completing that order of aid, you said you guys closed that case?
Yes.
And was that still with Eden living with his father?
Yes.
Do you know if there was anything that had been, I guess, determined with Miss Orona, or was it determined that Eden was safe where he was at that time?
It was determined that the home that we made contact with was appropriate, and Eden did not make any outcry at the time.
Okay.
And as far as Miss Orona, she did provide a drug screen. She was given some classes to complete, and the case closed.
All right. Now, let's give me a minute. Let me kind of go back to, all right, so what kind of contact have you had with been able to have with Olivares since Eden came into care?
I only visited with Mr. Olivares following the removal. I believe on the second or third day I was able to visit with him there at the gym.
Okay. And were you able to talk to him sort of about what was going on?
Yes, I was.
And did he indicate that he's willing to work services and cooperate with the department?
He did, yes.
Did he have any other concerns about Eden or bring up anything about the case at that time?
He did not mention any other concerns to me, no.
And what sort of contact now have you had with Miss Orona?
With Miss Orona, after following the removal, I did have contact with her. I had a courtesy worker go speak with her and provide her removal paperwork.
And Mr. Olivares is obviously in custody. Did you ask Miss Orona at any point to do any kind of drug screening or anything to follow up on the previous allegations and any current concerns?
I did ask her to provide a drug screen, and she did agree to do such.
Now, did you ask for a hair or a UA drug screen?
I asked for both drug screens.
And did she complete both?
She did not complete the hair follicle drug test for us. She did not complete the urinalysis test for us, but she did complete a urinalysis drug test for St. Francis.
Okay, and do you know when that was?
I do not have the date in front of me, but I could get that real quick. She completed the drug screen for the urinalysis on January 22nd, 2025.
And were the results of that drug screen actually filed on Friday of last week?
Yes.
And based on those drug screens, does the department have concerns about ongoing drug use?
Yes, she is positive. She was positive for marijuana.
Now, kind of going back.
Mr. Flores, let me ask you, you said that she did not do a UA or a hair strand for the department, did a UA for St. Francis. Are you saying she refused to do a hair strand for CPS?
No, Your Honor, there was some confusion. Whenever I had asked her, she had agreed to do the hair strand and the urinalysis. When the other agency asked her to drug screen, she misunderstood and only completed the urinalysis.
Okay, all right, thank you. Go Go ahead, Ms. Wildman.
And so kind of going back to the time of removal, Mr. Flores, at the time, do you believe there was a danger to the physical health and safety of Eden in that under the circumstances that he was in at the time?
Yes, I do.
Was there no time consistent with those circumstances to have this adversary before the removal was necessary?
Correct.
And I mean, did you attempt to make reasonable efforts to avoid the removal?
Yes, we did.
Were you able to, keep the child in the father's custody at the time?
No, I was not.
And were you able to locate Miss Arona?
No, we were not.
Did the department have concerns about whether or not Miss Arona would be an appropriate placement?
Yes, we do.
Now, what sort of, I guess, reasonable efforts did you make to avoid the removal?
Well, we tried to get in touch with Mr. Olivares, and we were unable to. And then when we tried to reach out to Miss Orona to either assess her for safety or contact any other family members, we were unable to reach her.
And I mean, did you attempt to kind of avoid removal by locating them and seeing if they would have been appropriate?
Correct.
What about family-based safety services or some kind of a parent safety plan? Were those available options at the time?
With us being unable to get in touch with either one of the parents, we were not able to discuss the family-based safety services due to them being voluntary programs.
Okay, and so were there any other efforts that you believe you could have reasonably taken to avoid removal?
No, what was considered was the fact that Mr. Olivares was having a mental health episode and he was not receiving treatment, and we were unable to contact Ms. Orona, and there would be nothing in place to prevent Mr. Olivares to take Eden with him if he were to get out, that we did not know when he would be getting out.
As far as placing with Miss Orona, do you have concerns about the safety of Eden if that were to happen?
We do.
And why is that?
Ms. Orona has a history of avoiding contact with the department for us to be able to assess safety whenever we receive any concerns.
Have there been previous cases where she has been unsuccessful in reunification?
There has been.
And does that give you concern for Eden at this time as well?
Yes, it does.
What is the department asking at this time?
The department is asking to retain temporary managing conservatorship of Eden.
And do you believe that that would be in his best interest and that there's an urgent need to protect the child?
Yes, we do.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Barfield.
Here we go. Mr. Flores, currently, did you learn where Miss Arona is currently residing?
Yes.
And where is that?
She is residing, to my knowledge, she is residing in Terrell, Texas.
Okay. And before we recess the last hearing, were you able to make contact with Miss Arona on the 10th, the day after removal? Is that what you testified to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that when you learned she lived in Terrell, Texas?
Yes.
Okay. And did you learn whom she lives with?
I was able to read that in the documentation for the courtesy worker. It's my understanding she's residing with the paternal grandparents of her youngest child.
Okay. All right. Now, you'd mentioned a prior case that gave you concern regarding current placement of Eden. That case was closed?
Correct.
Okay. And were there any sanctions put on Miss Arona or any court orders stating she could not be around Eden?
No, there's not.
Okay. So it sounds to me like that situation was resolved.
Correct.
Is that correct?
The investigation was completed, yes.
Okay. All right. Now, was Eden part of that investigation?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Now, ultimately, you understand Miss Arona has asked for placement of Eden with her as part of these police proceedings. Was that your understanding, or did you know that?
It's my understanding, just based off of the when we met the last time, that she did ask for a home study to be completed.
Okay. Do you know, do you know if that paperwork's been done, if that's in the process or not?
I believe it is in the process.
Okay. Did Miss Arona, I believe also when we recessed, the court said Miss Arona could have a visit in between the gap. Do you know if she was provided the opportunity to have a visit?
I do not know if that visit has been completed, no, sir.
Okay. Well, if I told you as of Friday, there's been nothing done to allow her to have a visit with her child, would that surprise you?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Now, other than the fact that Miss Arona had previous involvement with the department, would you consider her a non-offending parent in regards to the reason for removal, given the factual circumstances of this removal?
I would not consider a non-offending parent in this case, simply for the reason that in speaking with Ms. Arona, she did admit that she has knowledge of Mr. Olivares having his mental health history. She has knowledge of him not taking his medication, and that she voluntarily placed him with Mr. Olivares in the last case because she was trying to avoid us.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The department was involved in the case, the previous case, correct?
Yes.
And did the department approve the placement?
The placement, which placement?
With Mr. Olivares?
No, they took that upon themselves to Ms. Arona. It's my understanding that Ms. Arona placed Eden with Mr. Olivares.
Okay. And then the department closed the case out.
Correct. At the time, we did not have any concerns with Mr. or any knowledge of Mr. Olivares' mental health or conditions.
Okay. So you want to blame Miss Arona for y'all agreeing to place the child in that setting, is that right?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained. That's not the way I heard it anyway.
All right. Well, what culpability does the department have for placing this child with Mr. Olivares?
I'm going to object to argumentative again.
I don't think that's argumentative, Judge. It's a fact.
I didn't hear the fact that they placed him. That Mr. Flores, was the previous case, was it a removal?
No, Your Honor, the previous case was not a removal.
So mom could place the child whoever she wanted to place the child with, and if the department thought that was unsafe, they would have had to file for removal. Is that correct?
Let me withdraw the question and ask another question.
Okay.
I'll ask that you actually asked the proper question, Judge.
Well, thank you. I appreciate knowing that.
Thanks. Did the department feel there was a necessity for removal in the prior case?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll pass this witness, Judge.
All right. Mr. Flores, you may not know the answer to this, but I had ordered a home study begin on Miss Arona when we were here last week on the 3rd. Did you say, is it in the works?
I said I believe it is in the works. It being a subsequent placement, that would be St. Francis' responsibility.
That's kind of what I thought.
Complete that.
At any rate, I've heard testimony that she's living with other family members. Would it be important that that home study be completed so we'd know who Eden would be with besides his mother?
Yes, it would.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Saint, questions?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Flores, you said you spoke to Mr. Olivares?
Yes, a few days following the removal.
Okay, and did he provide any names of possible placements?
He provided me his parents as a placement option.
And have you looked into them?
That is where Eden is actually currently placed. Yes.
Oh, that's right. Paternal grandparents. Okay. And he seemed okay with that?
Yes.
Did you explain to him the TMC and how that works?
Yes, I did.
He understood that the children would be in the care of the department, but placed with his parents?
Yes, he did.
And he indicated he was okay with that?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And have you had a chance to speak to him since then?
I have not.
And you stated, I think, before that you explained to him about the services and he was in favor of working services?
Yes, he said that he would be willing to do what was needed.
Okay, and he didn't express any.
Mr. Saint, I'm having a real hard time hearing you.
I'm sorry, Judge. You know what? It's probably got me on the wrong microphone again. Sorry about that, Judge. Can you hear me okay, Mr. Flores?
Yes, I can.
So he didn't have any objection to the child being in the department's care and placed with his parents?
Correct. Not when he spoke with me, no.
Okay, and are there any plans to move the child from his parents at this time?
At this time, I am not aware of any plans.
Okay, so the placement seems to be going well?
Yes.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Thank you, Ms. Wiggins.
Mr. Flores, last hearing, we discussed Eden getting some counseling. Has that been started, or is that a St. Francis question?
That would also be a St. Francis question.
Okay. All right, thanks. Nothing further, Judge.
Okay. Anyone have follow-ups for Mr. Flores?
Just very briefly, Judge.
Okay.
Mr. Flores, I think to kind of clarify the case that was pending in October, I mean, was the case closed in part because Eden was no longer with Yesenia Arona?
Yes, that is correct.
Had he remained with her, would that case have been able to be closed at that time?
It's difficult to answer that question.
So it may have continued because of her involvement.
Correct.
I'll pass the witness.
Anyone else? All right, then. Ms. Wildman, does Mr. Flores need to remain with us?
He doesn't need to, Judge.
Hey, anyone
No
object to letting Mr. Flores be released?
No objection.
Okay.
No objection.
Mr. Flores, I'll release you so you can go about your afternoon's business. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. All right, Ms. Wildman, next witness.
Your Honor, just to kind of get them out of here and release them, I'd like to call the officers now. Briefly, if we could start with Mr. Hamilton or Officer Hamilton.
Okay.
Officer Hamilton, where are you currently employed?
The Amarillo Police Department,
And how long have you been with the Amarillo Police Department?
30 years.
Are you familiar with a individual by the name of Victor Hugo Olivares?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And do you recall being called out to his home looks like January 8th of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
And so what were you called out on?
Actually, I received 2 calls on Victor on that day. The first one was at the Toot and Totem at 46th and Washington. That call went out as a domestic involving a Hispanic male, Hispanic female, and a white Impala. And basically, and I believe it was the clerk at Toot and Totems who called, said that the male was yelling and being aggressive towards the female. But by the time I got over there, they had left. I didn't realize till later on the second call that it was Victor and Angelica, his girlfriend, that had been at that Toot and Totem. The second call went out at his residence at 43. That call came in from a neighbor who called and said, they basically described the call, said that the neighbor described it as the male subject. They believed he was having a psychotic episode and he was yelling and cussing out in his front yard.
So when you got out there, did you make contact with Victor?
Yeah, I did. What happened, I pulled up probably 2 houses down from his house and I saw him out there in the yard and he was digging some stuff out of that white Chevy Impala. That's when I realized this was probably the same people from the call that had happened at the Toot and Totem. And I was really just going to watch him for a minute and see what he was doing to kind of confirm what the neighbor was saying. But he saw me and he immediately was coming towards me. And he didn't leave his yard, but he came to the farthest point of his yard and he was yelling and cussing at me and basically challenging me to fight.
Were there other officers with you at that time?
No, not at that time. I did have a backup. Corporal Landrum was my assigned backup, and he hadn't arrived yet. I actually went ahead and walked up towards Victor, and I was trying to talk to him and try to figure out what was going on with him. And it was about that time that Corporal Landrum showed up.
Now, I mean, what was Victor's demeanor through this whole contact you had with him?
Well, he was extremely agitated, mad, aggressive. Again, like I said, he was calling me names, cussing at me, and basically just angry.
Now, based on what you had heard from talking with everybody on scene, did you have concerns about his mental health?
Yes, I did. What ended up happening is I saw a female, which ended up to be Angelica, his girlfriend.
Officer Hamilton, just generally based on the information that you had, was any kind of decision made to do an emergency detention?
Yes.
Now, did you find any kind of weapons or anything on scene while you were investigating?
Yes.
What kind of weapons did you find?
So I found two of them. One was 38 special, a Taurus 38 special. That was actually Angelica had given it to me after I had secured Victor in a patrol car, and it was in a coat pocket in the Impala that they had been driving around in earlier. She said he had a second gun, and she and I searched the house, but we couldn't find it. And later on the 11th, she called me back and said she had found that pistol, and it was a Ruger 9mm. And I went up there and picked it up, and I took both of them and booked them at the police department.
All right. And so did your involvement with Victor that date end at the pavilion?
It did.
What happened when you got to the pavilion?
He continued to be escalate in his behavior. He was more and more agitated and kind of bizarre. He started making some off the wall profane sexual comments towards me and Corporal Landrum. At one point, he tried to bite Corporal Landrum and tried to it looked like maybe he was going to try to lick him. And we took him into a secured room, and the staff at the pavilion asked us to take the handcuffs off of him. We took the handcuffs off of him, and I had to help him down into a chair a couple of times. And then we ended up just backing out of the room and left him in the room. That's what they wanted to do. And then he began crashing into the glass divider between the two rooms, banging on it, yelling and cussing. And right about that point, the staff, I think they thought that maybe Corporal Landrum and I were why he was agitated. So we left at that point.
Now, do you recall a child being on scene?
I do.
And, I mean, did you identify him?
Yes, I did. That was Eden.
I will pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Barfield.
During your investigation, did you have any dealings with a Yesenia Arona?
No, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Saint.
No questions, Judge.
All right, Miss Wiggins.
How did the child appear at the scene?
Okay, so he was standing outside when I pulled up. He was in the driveway, and he basically just stood there. He didn't say anything, and he was just watching his father's interaction with us. And I don't think he spoke at all. And then once I secured Victor in the police car, and I went into the house, well, then he became very talkative and was showing me his toys and showing me around the house. And he kind of seemed like he was definitely relieved that his father was being secured in the police car. He just, he seemed very comfortable with the girlfriend, Angelica, and was kind of just being like a normal kid at that point.
Did it seem like he was shocked by his father's behavior?
You know, I think it would be my opinion that he was scared at what he was seeing going on in the front yard between his father and I, and his father yelling and all that. And it did seem like once his father was in the car that he was no longer scared and became talkative and wanted to talk about his toys and different things.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Anyone have further questions for Officer Hamilton? All right, then. Can he be excused?
No objection.
Okay, Officer Hamilton, I'll release this so you can go about your afternoon's business. Thank you for your testimony and thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Uh-huh.
And Your Honor, then the department would call Officer Howell, Tanner Howell.
Okay.
And just briefly, Officer Howell, how are you currently employed?
I'm a patrol officer with the Amarillo Police Department.
How long have you been with the police department?
4 years.
Now, are you familiar with an individual by the name of Victor Hugo Olivares?
I am.
And did you respond to a call at the Northwest Texas Behavioral Health Unit, also known as the Pavilion, on January 8th of 2025?
I did.
What was the, I guess, nature of that call?
Nursing staff had called and said that he was being aggressive, throwing things, screaming and yelling.
And so when you arrived, how did Mr. Olivares first appear when you saw him?
He was in his boxers, sweating profusely, screaming profanities and racial slurs. He's sweating profusely. He's very agitated.
And so were you able to have any kind of conversation with him?
No, I tried, but anything that was said would just agitate him more.
And so, ultimately, I mean, were you the only, let me take a step back. Were you the only officer on scene?
No, ma'am, not at that time.
Do you recall how many officers ended up having to respond to this?
There were 7 by the time he was taken into custody.
Now, while this was going on, did you become aware of anything that had been damaged?
Approximately $36,000 worth of electronics was destroyed.
And how did that happen?
Nursing staff, he said he had taken like a 5-gallon igloo cooler and poured it over the counter, destroying all their intake electrical items such as surge protectors, computers, things of that nature.
Once enough officers had arrived, I mean, what did you end up having to do to try to get him, I guess, contained or restrained?
But just the interaction we had with him, his animated state, we separated ourselves from him initially and called for more officers, and we came up with just a quick plan of like, he's going to be arrested. Officer Kelly was going to give commands, and if he did anything other than comply, I was going to tase him.
And so, I mean, what ultimately ended up happening?
He was given several chances to comply, and he was hesitant to comply, and it resulted in me tasing him.
After that, were you able to get control of Mr. Olivares?
Yes.
And where did you take him to then?
Potter County Corrections Center.
Now, at the time, what was he booked in on?
Damage to property, over 25,000, under 30,000. Terroristic threat caused fear of serious bodily injury and resisting arrest.
Do you have any knowledge of whether or not those cases were taken or accepted by? All right, but those were the ones that he was booked in for when you transported him, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Barfield.
Officer, did you have any dealings with Yesenia Arona during this incident?
Not that I'm aware of, sir.
Thank you, sir. No further questions, Judge.
All right, Mr. Saint.
No questions, Judge.
Ms. Wiggins.
No questions.
Anyone else for Officer Howell? All right, then, Officer Howell, I'll go ahead and release you so you can go about your afternoon's business. Thank you for your testimony and thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Wildman.
The department will call Sylvia Garcia with St. Francis.
Okay.
I will be the permanency specialist at the end of February.
Okay, and so have you had the opportunity, are you working with Miss McIntyre on this case currently?
Yes, I am.
All right, and so all the involvement you've had, have you been with Miss McIntyre?
I have been with her and with a mentor.
Okay, so have you had an opportunity to talk to either of the parents in this case?
Yes, I have.
And have you talked with Mr. Olivares?
Yes, I have.
Have you talked with him about any concerns that he has about Yesenia Arona?
Yes, I have.
And what concerns has he relayed to you?
He said that he was concerned that she was still using drugs and that she would possibly be prostituting out of a hotel room.
Now, do you know specifically what drugs he was concerned about?
Methamphetamines.
Have you had any opportunity to talk with Miss Arona?
I've briefly talked to her, but not in regards to the drug use.
Okay. And so, are you aware of any other concerns that Mr. Olivares may have shared about Miss Arona?
He just stated that Miss Arona, whenever she would prostitute, that Eden would be there.
As far as he's concerned, does he believe that Miss Arona is a safe placement for Eden?
He does not believe that she is a safe place for Eden.
Does he believe that his parents are a safe place?
Yes, he does.
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Barfield.
Yes. Now, you mentioned that, yes, have you had conversation? You mentioned you'd had brief conversation with Miss Arona. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And what was discussed during that conversation?
We discussed parenting time, and I made her aware that I would be taking over the case at the
Okay.
end of February.
Okay. And in regards to the court has ordered a home study of her home. Were you aware of that?
I was aware of it.
Okay. Do you know, I mean, and this is fairly soon, do you know the status of that?
We have yet to start it.
Okay. Do you have a time scheduling to when you anticipate that being started?
We are actually planning to start it tomorrow, as soon as
Correct.
this hearing was to be completed.
Okay. Now, have you, and I probably know the answer to this, but have you had the opportunity to yourself to visit Miss Arona's home?
I have not.
And is that because that she lives in Terrell, Texas?
That is correct.
Okay. And is that the reason that we need a home study? Because one of the reasons we need a home study.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, in regards to Miss Arona, what plans have been made for her to have visitation?
So we've already had a visitation, and I let her know that after that visitation that I would actually reach out to her again so that we could have more of a set schedule of when that was going to happen weekly.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now, in regards to now, is it your understanding that Miss Arona would like Eden placed with her as quickly as possible?
That is my understanding.
Okay. Now, has there been any drug testing done in this case, to your knowledge?
Yes, there has.
Okay, and I guess a better question would be, has Miss Arona drug tested in this case?
Yes, she has.
And what type of drug test was that?
It was a urinalysis.
And what were the results of that urinalysis, if you know?
It was positive for marijuana.
Was not positive for any other substance, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Whereas was the test for substances as well other than marijuana?
Yes, there was.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Saint.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Garcia, you said you spoke with Mr. Olivares?
That's correct.
Okay. And did he seem to understand what was happening?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that he was in favor of the children remaining with his parents, or the child remaining with his parents?
That's correct.
Okay. But he expressed concerns about the mother of the children?
Yes.
Okay. And did you discuss the process with Mr. Olivares, the services, things like that?
Yes, it was discussed with him.
Okay. And he seemed to understand?
Yes.
And he seemed to be okay with working services?
Yes, he was okay with working services.
Okay. And obviously you can't place the child back with him while he's incarcerated, but did he give you any indication of how long he thinks he'll be incarcerated?
He did not give us an indication.
Did you discuss with him possible services that the St. Francis might be requesting?
We did not discuss that with him yet.
Obviously, there's been lots of testimony about mental health issues. I assume that's something that St. Francis intends to try to address.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Wiggins.
At the last hearing, it was requested that Eden start counseling. Has that been set up for Eden?
Yes, it has been.
Okay. Who is he going to be seeing?
So I'm not sure yet who he's going to be seeing. We actually just have his psychological evaluation and his therapy set up for next week. So we have to see exactly which therapist he's going to use, because he's not in Amarillo directly. He's just on the outskirts of Amarillo.
Okay. I'll pass it on. Oh, go ahead.
If I'm correct, it's going to be either Melissa Lawson. That's who we usually send and refer our kids to.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Anyone have further questions for Ms. Garcia?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Ms. Wildman, any other witnesses?
Just very briefly, we'll call Tasia McIntyre, Your Honor, since she's the primary worker on the case and may be able to answer a few other questions.
Okay. Ms. McIntyre, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Wildman.
All right, and Ms. McIntyre, just you've heard that the home study on Miss Arona is planned to begin. Are there any other outstanding home studies?
We do have a home study requested on the paternal grandparents that he's currently placed with.
But do we have any concerns with their placement at this time?
No, and I've personally been out to that placement and reviewed it and stuff and met with the grandparents as well.
And have they done everything they need, getting him signed up for school and following up with the counseling requests?
Absolutely. I took a list of therapists out there and grandma started calling right away and we got him in with one of the therapists.
Now, understanding that we do have the home study being ordered on mom, does St. Francis have concerns about the mother in this case?
Yes, we do.
And what are some of those concerns?
Past CPS history, substance abuse, and then also dad's concerns that he raised to us as well.
And are you concerned about the fact that mom dropped the child off with the father, knowing he had the issues that he had while another case was pending?
That does raise some concerns, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and let's see. Now, does that mean that if the department is granted temporary management conservatorship, that you're not going to work reunification with both parents?
Oh, absolutely. We want to work for reunification if we can.
And let me ask, as far as the visitation, is that going to continue virtually?
Yes, I actually requested it last week and it's been assigned to a contractor and they'll be giving Miss Arona a phone call, but we did do that visit last week, but it has already been assigned. After court, I did request those visits immediately.
All right. And since Miss Arona did not do a hair follicle, would it be helpful for everyone involved to have her ordered to do that hair follicle today? Or if there's an issue with getting her a referral down in Terrell, Texas, having the judge set a short time frame in which that can be arranged?
Absolutely. I've already sent her to one drug screen, so I know the exact testing facility she needs to go to and have no worries about getting that down there. So a hair follicle would be great.
Do you want that ordered for today?
Yes, please.
I will pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Barfield.
Essentially, is it your position that until we get the home study and a clean drug test, that really if St. Francis's concerns will not be alleviated till we get some more information? Would that be a fair summary?
The proper measures need to be taken and then it brought before the court because there are some significant concerns.
Thank you, ma'am. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Saint.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. McIntyre, you said you've been to the grandparents' home yourself?
Yes, sir, I have.
And at this point, you have no concerns?
No, sir.
And is it your intention or expectation to leave Eden there with his grandparents until if and when reunification with the parents can happen?
Yes, unless ordered to do so differently by the courts.
Right. And if something came up that it caused a concern, that might change it. But based on what you know now, you're expecting that would happen?
Yes.
He would stay there?
Yes, he's safe. He's safe there and his needs are being taken care of.
Okay. Do you know, is that a possible long-term or permanent placement if it became necessary?
That's not been discussed.
Okay.
But grandparents are stepping up and doing what they need to do for their grandson.
Okay. And did he have a previous relationship with them?
He did not to not a strong extent. They did have holidays there, but not a strong involvement prior to this.
Okay, but it's gone well since he's been there.
There's been some hiccups, but there always is with the new placement and things like that, but it's been well.
But nothing that would concern you about him being there.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. And have you had a chance to speak to Mr. Olivares?
I have. I went to the jail to visit him.
Okay. And again, did he seem to understand what was the case was about?
He did. He communicated well with us, didn't give us any issues while we were there, and he discussed the case.
Okay. And you believe he needs some mental health assistance?
Yes.
You think that'll be a primary focus of his service plan?
Yes.
Okay. And what about visitation? I assume until he gets out of incarceration, that will be an issue.
As soon as he's released from incarceration, we'll get that set up immediately so that Eden can visit with his father.
Okay, that's what I was trying to ask. Thank you very much. I pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins?
No questions.
All right. Anything further of Ms. McIntyre? All right,
No.
then. Ms. Wildman, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Barfield, any witnesses?
I'd call my client, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rona, if you'd unmute, please. Thank you, ma'am. If you'd raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, Your Honor.
I can't hear. Can you not hear me, Ms. Arona?
Yes, sir, I can.
She's either frozen or she can't hear me.
I can hear her, Judge. I'll see if she can. You speak up, Miss Arona?
Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Amy, can you hear her?
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay, I don't either.
I don't hear her either.
I'm not on mute.
Ms. Arona, we can't hear you. It
That
does
is odd.
show you're muted, but we cannot hear you.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Now we can. Yeah, if you'd raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Barfield.
Thank you. Miss Arona, are you asking that Eden be placed with you?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now, when Eden was with Mr. Olivares, did you know he was not taking his medications?
No.
How long had Eden been with Mr. Olivares until this episode?
Since October.
And did you place Eden in his care?
He picked Eden up from my mother and my sister's house.
And when was that?
In October.
Did you take any legal action or any action in October or was the department involved with your family in October of 2024?
Yes.
At the end of the case, when it was closed in December, did Eden remain with Mr. Olivares?
Yes.
Were you seeing Eden or getting any visits at that time?
No. Dad would not give me any.
Did you
Dad would be
did you retain any attorney or anything like that to try to get possession and access before this case started?
No.
Now you understand that the court has ordered a home study of your home in this case.
Yes.
And the court, pretty much the department is asking for you to do a drug screen hair follicle test. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any, and sounds like you got your visit.
Yes.
Now, if the court decided to leave placement where it was and name the department temporary managing conservator, is it your intent to cooperate with the department?
Yes.
Okay. But in a perfect world, you'd prefer that Eden be placed with you after this hearing.
Correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Wildman.
Ms. Arona, when you were in Amarillo, where were you last, or when were you last in Amarillo or living in Amarillo?
At a hotel I worked at.
And so was that back in October of 2024?
Yes.
During that case, I guess the investigation that was open in October, did you leave Amarillo?
Yes.
And where did you go?
To Garland, Texas.
And is that where your other son's, is it Ciangelo?
Yes.
Is that where his father is?
Yes.
And do you recall telling the department that you intended to stay in Garland, Texas at that time?
Yes.
All right, and where do you live now?
In Carroll.
All right, so how long did you stay in Garland, Texas?
Until the beginning of January.
Excuse me,
how long?
Excuse me. Ms. Rona, if you would not put your hand in front of your mouth, I think that's part of why we're having a hard time hearing you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Wildman.
And so how long have you been in Terrell?
Since the beginning of January.
So maybe a month?
Yes.
Who are you living with in Terrell?
My 3-year-old grandparents.
Didn't hear that.
My 3-year-old grandparents.
Amy, did you make that out? 3-year-old grandson? Nope.
His parents.
Her 3-year-old's grandparents.
Okay.
Okay. So is Ciangelo still with you?
Yes.
But he's also got his grandparents there to supervise.
Yes.
Did you do drug testing for St. Francis of the Department back in October?
Yes.
And were those drug tests also positive for marijuana?
Yes.
And did you, at any point after that investigation had closed, did you at any point make any effort to get Eden, I guess, back to Terrell or Garland or wherever you were living at the time?
Yes. Dad wouldn't. Dad was argumentative, so I just left him be. Try to contact his parents to try and get Eden for me. His parents didn't respond to me. And then I heard from you guys that he had been removed by you guys.
And at the time that you dropped Eden off, that case was still open against you, correct?
Yes, they had just opened.
So the last time that you had contact with Mr. Olivares, his understanding was that you were under investigation and not necessarily a safe placement for Eden. Correct?
Correct.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Mr. Saint.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Arona, I think you testified that you were unaware that Mr. Olivares was off his medication when you sent Eden to be with him?
Correct.
Okay, so if he's on his medication, you believe that he would be a suitable caretaker for Eden?
No.
Okay, but you sent him anyway.
He was picked up by his father from my mother's house.
Okay, and you had nothing to do with that? I'm sorry if you answered, I didn't hear you.
No.
Okay, so he just showed up and picked up and you had no idea he was coming?
He asked my mother if he could pick him up. She let him. She allowed him.
Okay, and you didn't know about it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Wiggins.
No questions.
All right, anything further, Ms. Arona?
Just
No, Your Honor.
briefly, Judge.
Very, very briefly, please.
I will, Judge. So, Mr. Rona, I'm following up on what Mr. Saint had said. He came and got Eden in October, correct?
Correct.
So if you didn't think he was a safe person, why did you not bring that up with the department or St. Francis over the 2 months that investigation was open?
Because Eden was supposed to come back with me. He was supposed to take Eden to my mother's house.
So he was supposed to take Eden and then return him afterwards.
He was supposed to take him back to my mother's house. He stated to my mother and my sister that he would take Eden back to them on Christmas.
So once the case was over, you expected him to return Eden? Or once the investigation was over, you expected him to return Eden?
No, not when it was over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You'd agree with me that investigation was over by Christmas, correct?
It was over by Christmas, yes. But he was supposed to go back before then.
But at no point in that 2 months did you bring up any of those concerns about Mr. Oliveras then with the department before that case closed?
No.
No further questions.
Anyone else?
Just, I have to follow up, Judge. Miss Arona, do you believe the department was aware of Mr. Oliveras' issues because of the case that was going on?
No.
No further questions, Judge.
Anyone else? All right, then, Mr. Barfield, you didn't have any other witnesses, correct?
I do not.
Thank you. Mr. Saint, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Wiggins, witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Wiggins, recommendations.
I recommend that the department remain temporary managing conservator of the child. Placement to continue. I did see him at his placement. He is doing well there with his grandparents. They are new in forming their bond, but they are doing very well. Hence why I wanted the counseling for him. And since Andy is awesome, she already found out that he's starting with Melissa Lawson on the 18th.
Great, great. Tasia, is Eden enrolled in school in Bushland?
He is and doing well in school.
Good. Okay, thank you. Okay, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'll continue Eden's current placement. I will order Miss Arona to hair strand drug screen by 4 p.m. tomorrow at, I guess, if I'm correct, Tasia, at the same facility that she did the UA drug screen for you?
Yes, sir. And I just sent that request through, so it's ready for her.
Okay. Miss Arona, you know where you went before, correct? Miss Arona?
Correct. I'm sorry, you cut out. Correct.
You know where you went to take the drug test?
In Forney?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Did you understand my ruling
Yes,
that
sir.
I'm ordering that you hair strand drug screen by 4 p.m. tomorrow at that very same facility?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have transportation?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right, then our next hearing will be the status hearing. That will be held on March 10th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of March 10th to see what time we'll have that hearing. We'll stand in recess on this case. I'm going to take apologize for the delay. Our last hearing went much longer than we were led to believe. So I will call Randall County case cause numbers. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the children. Ms. McDaniel is with us representing the father, Mr. Soria, who is with us. And Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother, Ms. Mendez, who is with us. That's all the parties. Let me just quickly run down the list of everyone in the waiting room. Ismar Pineda, Brandy Pate, Nathan Reyes, Amanda Jones, Colby Hall, and Erica Cantrell.
Your Honor, if I could get Isamar and Brandy in, as well as Erica Cantrell. The first two are with investigations. The last one is with St. Francis. She's the new caseworker. Your Honor, aside from me needing to ask Ms. Cantrell a couple of questions just to make sure the parents are getting visits, I think we have an agreement in this case.
Okay, sounds good. Give me just a second to get caught up here. Okay, I think we're all here now. They've just told me the parties have reached an agreement in this case, and you were, I guess, to be potential witnesses. So the three of you are free to go. I apologize for us running late and apologize for taking your time this afternoon, but thank you for being willing and able to testify. So the three of you are released to go about the rest of your day's business.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. Okay. So, Ms. Gutierrez, you need to call a witness or just ask some questions?
I just need to ask some questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Erica, have
Yes,
the
ma'am.
parents, has their visitation been set up?
No, they have not been set up. I've reached out to mom, Alyssa, and I did not get a response back from her. I did get in contact with her. She messaged me. She will be able to start visitation supervised by her mom for 2 hours a week. And so that will be starting. And then I have not had contact with Mr. Soria. I've sent him a message and I have not received a response back from him. I don't know if he has a new number or what the situation may be, but I have had no luck getting in contact with him.
And regarding Mr. Soria, how many hours per week of visitation will his be?
He will, as of right now, will be 1 hour a week. We're doing 2 hours a week right now with mom because it is in the relative's home. So that's why hers is going to start at that 2 hours. And then Mr. Soria, he's not in Amarillo every week. And so the virtual visits will be an hour. And then when he is in town, in person will be an hour.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, that was all I needed from her, Your Honor.
Okay.
I can announce the agreement. The parties are in agreement for the department to remain temporary managing conservator, for the parents to continue as temporary possessory conservators of both children, and both parents have agreed to work services. Your Honor, we're also asking for a finding of reasonable efforts to prevent removal as reflected in the order for protection. And I can announce those if you need me to go through those, Your Honor.
No, that's fine. I need to know the type of placement and city or county where both kids are placed currently.
Okay, I have one more request. We are also asking for a finding of reasonable efforts to reunify in attempting to set up visitation, setting up future visitation, as well as attempting to communicate with the parents.
Okay, I will make those findings requested.
And
Judge,
oh, sorry.
They're, do you want me to answer?
Anybody?
Okay, they're placed with maternal grandmother Dorothy here in Amarillo.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
All right, then. Then anything else as part of the agreement today?
No, Your Honor. Are we asking for any drug screens, Erica?
Just to ensure we do have that not be an issue of our case. So yes, I would like to request hair strands or NUAs for both parents.
And they're both located in Amarillo?
I know Miss Mendez is right now. I don't know if Mr. Soria is at work or not. If he is not in Amarillo, if he could just let me know where he is and we can see if we have a provider in that area where he's working to send him to.
Let's just find that out right now. Mr. Soria, if you would unmute.
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Where are you going to be located tomorrow?
I'm in Amarillo. It's gonna be my last day in Amarillo before I go to work. So I mean, I gotta leave early in the morning, so it has to be like, early in the morning.
You're in Amarillo right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know where Care Express is on Ross Osage?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you can get there today, that's what I want you to do. You can drive there right now, and they'll have the paperwork there for you when you get there.
All right, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. And then Miss Mendez, can you make it today, or do you need till tomorrow?
I can go today.
Okay. Then whoever, Erica, be sure let's get those 2054s over there immediately. And I appreciate y'all being able to take care of that today. All right. So Miss Gutierrez, anything else?
No, Your Honor, we just ask that the court grant those findings.
Okay. Let me just transfer this here. Miss Mullinax, is this your client's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss McDaniel, your client's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Miss Wiggins, your client.
Well, yes, it's my agreement.
Okay.
And Judge, I would ask that the children attend counseling.
Okay. Okay, then I will approve that agreement. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'll continue the children's current placements. I'll order the parents' visitation as announced. That is that mother has 2 hours weekly supervised by her mother, and Mr. Soria have 1 hour weekly supervised virtually if he's not here in Amarillo, or if he is, then in person when possible. So, and I will order both parents to both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today at Care Express. I appreciate y'all being able to get that done. I appreciate y'all working this out. I'm sorry that we ran late. So our next hearing will be the status hearing. That will be on March 17th, 2025. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of March 17 to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. All right, this was our last case for the day, so we'll stand in recess. Again, thank you for working that out, and everybody have a good week.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Y'all.
Thank you.
Are you ordering the counseling?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'll order the counseling. I'm just going to say to be set up as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Y'all have a good week.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Amy,
No.
see you.
Thanks, Judge. I'll see you Friday.
See you.